What is going on, you dead set legends? I tell you what, your eyes are not mistaken. This isn't Aussie Arm Wrestlers Couples Therapy. We're actually doing an arm wrestling show here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ready Bang, the #1 arm wrestling live stream in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and I am joined by almost two of the most powerful arm wrestling couples on the planet. And the best thing is the women are taking center stage in this one, and they're going to attack each other. So we're going to get the niceties out the way before we get it. And of course, we'll start with, in my top left-hand corner, you know them as Mr. and Mrs. Todd. It is Michael and Rebecaa Todd. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Thanks. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Super excited to be on. Ready, bang.
Yeah, love it. I know how busy you guys are, and I can only imagine how exhausted you both are. So I do appreciate you guys taking a bit of time out to have a bit of fun on the show. And then, of course, we've got Jason, who's just woken up because he's been crooked the last 48 hours.
Jake, I haven't moved from that spot since Friday night. Friday night, I got home from work. And it's typical because I have a match and I'm doing a big thing and all this shit. But Friday night, I got home from work and I got hit with I woke up in the middle of the night with fever, chills. And I've been today's the first day I actually feel like a person. Yeah, I've been not well. I think Luke Poulter came to Vegas and sprinkled something over my house. And because I've been trying to gain weight. To gain as much weight as I can for our match. And I'm down 6 pounds in 2 days. So thanks, Luke.
Well, while he's had magic dust on him, of course, I have some of my favorite people, and that is the Latonas, Jason and Sarah. Guys, besides Jason being crook, how are you? And welcome back to the show.
We're good.
Yeah,
you said the two of the most powerful couples in arm wrestling. I think this is all of the couples. At least in good relationships. Can I say that? Wait, hold on. That was not a dig at anyone in particular, unless you do identify with it. Then the end it was.
Okay, but to be honest and completely,
someone's talking shit about you on the show. Coming up and cut him. No.
And to be completely
exactly who I met.
You weren't in this hotel room at 8:10 this morning. You would have a totally different
She
opinion.
was so mean to me.
He was an asshole. He was an asshole this morning.
We'll just quickly say hi to everyone in the chat. There is a little bit of an echo, guys. You've got to understand the Wi-Fi is not the best.
We're gonna see
at
if we
the
can
Todd's.
get our headphones.
Okay, hang on just 1 second. Let me, if I somehow drop myself out, I'll just dial back in. But I'm going to go check just to make sure that it's not up on the Facebook app. Okay, hang on just a second.
Okay. As they play around, I'll just say hi to everyone and we can test it all. Phil, Woody, UK is in the house. The Drew 24 saying, oh, this would be good.
Okay, yeah, it's nothing on my side, so.
Okay.
We're going to try to connect to our headphones on our side.
Too easy. While you guys do that, we'll just have a quick chat. It's Sarah is too strong, but can't wait to see the match with these two respectable ladies. It's going to be a good match. We'll get to that very, very soon. ECEC saying, hey, Todds. Hey, Latonas. It's all happening in the chat. Everyone's talking about the echo. We do apologise, guys. Phil Woody, UK, what a legend he is. Saying, hey, beautiful people, Monster Factory 3 coming in hot.
See, we don't hear an echo on this side. It's weird.
Yeah, I can hear. I just don't know which one it's coming from. Danger Cooper saying, ready bang. Aussie from Michigan. Marcus Thompson's in the house. Says, Solange, boys and girls, looking forward to the Monster Factory. White Wolf, everyone's in the chat, guys. It is awesome. Thank you very much. And we'll just scroll down a bit and we're going to get to it. Right.
Is this better?
It's usually just when I talk. Like when you two talk to each other, it's fine. When I talk, something happens, and I don't know which end it's happening on.
Yeah, because we have our headphones in.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything on this side. You don't happen to have like your phone on or anything, do you, over there?
No.
No.
I don't think so. No.
Jake, you don't have your phone on.
Nope. Everything's nothing changes on my end in my
Then
studio.
we're just going to say that it's all of the superpowers on
there you go.
Screen are causing an error.
Yeah, so just be patient with us, everyone in the chat. Maybe if I just continue to talk without having any breaks, which I'm awesome at, maybe you'll never hear the echo. But if you have been living under a rock, let me catch you up to speed. This weekend, December 10th, we have Monster Factory 3. And one of the highlights of the match when it was first announced ages ago, we have Mrs. Monster, Rebecaa Todd, taking on Mrs Latona. Mrs. Monster, 2 questions. Why are you back on the table competing, which I'm very happy about? And 2, why Sarah?
Okay. So the why am I back is actually pretty simple. When I left arm wrestling, when I retired in 2018, it was actually December 8th, 2018. When I left, it was a little bit of a traumatic situation. My grandmother had passed away while I was in Brazil, and it was actually about the time that I was arm wrestling. I was in a super match there. So I just carried a lot of resentment and bitterness towards that because I wasn't beside her. Instead, I was, like I said, at a super match. And so at that point, I just made the decision that I wasn't going to compete. And I was not a person that was enjoying competing anyway, because I have a whole lot of social anxiety. Losing is never a big deal to me. I don't have that competitive drive that like the Monster has. Like if I lose it, I won't think about it after 5 minutes. You know, it's just gone.
Rebecaa, you need to make that shirt.
Oh yeah.
You know, Michael has this shirt. I hate losing more than I hate winning. You need to have a shirt that says, I don't mind losing. I'll forget about it in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know.
So it's not the fear of losing. It's actually, I think it's more a fear of fear, you know, a fear of, I don't know. I just get a little anxious on the table, and I don't want to wreck your thought processes, Sarah, but like recently the anxiety is building up a lot, and it's what I'm hearing in my ears is the sound of bones breaking a lot. So it's really screwing with my head, you know? So it's that thing that I'm pushing through. And if I make it to the table, and I'm going to make it to the table, if I make it to the table and I stay there and I stay in the moment and I compete, I've already won.
Amen.
Not the match. I beat my situation, right? So I've already won. Now, why Sarah? Sarah, because someone in the chat a while ago was like, do these ladies even train? First of all, no, you're not following Sarah, because if you were following Sarah, you would know she trains her ass off. And I've been watching her in the arm wrestling community, and I've been watching her compete. And she is such a delightful person because you can literally feel her passion for the sport. She loves arm wrestling. Jason loves arm wrestling. They are supportive of any promotion in arm wrestling. And so I just didn't think that there could be a better opponent that fit me, because she's an uplifting personality. She is someone who I think other ladies and young girls in the sport especially could look up to. She's a great role model. So I definitely wanted her on our card for that purpose. And she is not someone who would want to play the trash game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not I'm not that person that can do that or entertain that.
Yeah.
So it's too important to me, not just the match, but it's important to me how we portray ourselves on the card while competing, but also leading up to and after, because our goal is to have a lot of ladies watch this and maybe want to become a part of it and maybe someday be on the card as well.
Yeah, because the last Monster Factory, you had an absolute banger of a woman's.
Was it last?
It was on Monster Factory.
No, the first one.
Yeah.
We had Leanne Wilson and Danielle Evenson, and the thing was that was one of like on that Monster Factory 1, and stop me, just put your hand up if I'm talking too much, okay? On Monster Factory 1, we were not having matches of the night yet. We have a match of the night for the undercard, match of the night for the main card now, started in Monster Factory 2. Those ladies could have easily won match of the night on the undercard. They were fabulous. But what really hurt my feelings is the community did not support that match. And I can tell you exactly how so. When I would put out, because we see numbers, right? And in the social media game and in the promotions, it's all about numbers. When we put out all of the videos, we cut them up, we give them to the athletes to post, and then we also post them ourselves separately from the live feed. And that was the match that got poorest views on the cut up version that was sent out. And it had a terrible drop in views while it was actually live. Like people would actually turn it off to go do something else and come back when someone else was on. That's upsetting to me. And so for that purpose, and I'm not certain that I should actually say this part, but I'm going to do it anyway. So for that purpose, people have been commenting probably for 2 or 3 years. We want to see Mrs. Monster arm wrestle. We want to see Mrs. Monster on a card. And I really didn't have any interest in it. So this is where I call their bluff. You want to see me on the card. You've been harassing me to be on the card. I'm on the damn card. Watch it, share it, and support it. And while we're doing that, we're also going to be highlighting another beautiful arm wrestler. Not that it has anything to do with the looks. Beautiful inside and out arm wrestler that is an up and coming, actually a shooting star that I'm very excited about. Watch her and then go look Sarah up and see what she's up to. Follow her journey after this.
So there you go. Mrs. Monsters put the challenge out to the arm wrestling community. There's nothing wrong with that. You've begged for it. I, for one, have been one. Every time we've spoke, Rebecca, I've given the old, when are you getting back on the table, big dog? Because you're a multi-time national champion in your own right. So yeah, absolutely. I know I'll be thereabouts watching it for sure. And by the sounds of everyone in this chat, that they'll be watching this match also. But Sarah, your phone rings and it's Mrs. Monster and says, let's dance before Christmas. What are your thoughts? Because as Mrs. Monster's alluded to, you're just a lunatic like the rest of us when it comes to arm wrestling. You love all sorts of arm wrestling. You train it every time you wake up. That's all you're talking about and things like that. So how was it when the phone rang and you were the chosen one, so to speak?
I mean, I was so honored and blessed that she chose me. Rebecca and I have actually been talking since Monster Factory 2, correct, Rebecca?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was before Monster Factory 2, I think, because we had considered being on the card at that time.
Yes, exactly. So it was before Monster Factory 2, and she was talking about coming back, and it was, too overwhelming she was literally doing everything in Monster Factory 2. everything. Like this woman does everything. She does the videos, she does the photos, she was doing everything. So I completely understand. And they, you know, before Monster Factory 2, they called and they were like, it's too much. Let's hold off. And Michael was like, if Rebecaa comes back, you will be the one she goes against. He was like, just understand that you are going to be the one that she goes against. So when she called me again for Monster Factory 3, I was like 100%. Did you hear me, Michael? I said 100%.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jason doesn't like that either.
Thank God.
Yeah, Jason doesn't like that either. So yeah, but definitely
100%.
100%. I was like, yep, let's do it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. I was like, yep, 100%, let's do it. And just being across the table with somebody like her, you know, somebody that does love the sport, somebody that went through stuff, but is still willing to come back into the sport, I think that's amazing. And I give her so much respect for being able to do that. So that's the thing with Rebecaa and I. We don't need to talk. We're going to let the table do the talking.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So then how can you just give everyone an insight, Sarah, because those that follow you closely, like everyone here in the chat, we see you train and we see you train. Now, I've been in the sport, publicly for about 3 years, and I think this will be the first time I've seen you pull live. So how frustrating is it to be in the gym all the time? I mean, look at Michael's last 12 months. He's pulled 114 times. Next year, the opportunity to win 100 matches. How frustrating is it on your end to have big super matches like this happen once every 2 years?
This is, so for me, it's actually new. This is my first super match I've ever had. So, yeah. So for me, this is something that I feel blessed in being able to do. I have heard from other people that they like super matches more. There are some people that love tournaments more. I don't know yet because of where I am at in my arm wrestling career. This is my first one, so I don't know exactly how I feel about it yet. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Michael, I'll bring you in there, mate. I'll bring you in there. You're looking a bit too comfy for my liking.
He'll be asleep soon.
That's what I mean. I thought I'd get a couple of quick words before. Because Michael's about to nod off. Jason's crooked as a dog, so I'll quickly get them involved before they fall asleep. Michael, yeah, your lovely wife. Everyone knows the love that you two have. You guys are constantly talking about this match. What was the thought process? And now that we're getting to under 7 days, now we're 5 days, 6 days away from the match. What's your whole thought process from when the match was first announced to now about the progress of Rebecaa getting back on the table?
When it first was announced, we both thought that she would commit to arm wrestling training, right? Because she went through our physique transformation, our 6-month transformation, training, working out, feeling great. But she found a renewed passion for CrossFit in that journey, right? And it quickly went from arm wrestling training to how can I be a better CrossFitter? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now Rebecaa is probably the strongest she's been in years on a lot of different tests of strength, a lot of different areas, right? How that's going to translate to the table, since she has not been doing any specific arm wrestling training, I'm not super optimistic. So
I love you, Rebecaa. I think you're sweet.
What I do want to say is,
way to support your wife there, bud.
Hey,
Lie to me. He's being lie to me. I mean, damn.
Well, you asked me to be on the show. So basically it comes down to this. I want her to have a good time. I want her to overcome her anxiety and her fear. But mostly I want her to remain injury free because I know how passionate she is about her goals involving CrossFit. And I'm gonna be honest, in the mornings, watching her do these CrossFit workouts really inspires me. So I'm digging how she's looking when she's doing all these squats and deadlifts.
I do 2 a day.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't want to see that go away because listen, she has a fire lit inside of her right now to basically become her best physical self ever, and I don't want to see that is extinguished. So getting through this weekend is going to be a milestone. I wish her the best. I know Sarah is an accomplished young arm wrestler, and Rebecaa has a shot. I'm going to be honest. She has a shot. If she hits her lane, she's got a very good chance of winning. I don't know if she's going to be able to get to it. I mean, that's just me being 100% sincere. I don't know if she can get to her lane or not. If she can, I like her chances. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if the strength that she has translates to the table because the amount of time she's been on the table since we agreed to this match is very minimal. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity.
Well, they're just, I mean, it comes down to, like Sarah was saying, Rebecaa does everything. She's our editor. She's that comes up with, I mean, she does the whole thing. So at the end of the day, you only have so much time, and her preparation, her arm wrestling specific training is so low on the totem pole of things that she has as a priority that I'm not saying that she's not prepared. She is strong. I just don't know how arm wrestling strong she is.
I'm fixing to make him eat his words.
Good girl.
Oh, this is a secret ploy. I reckon they're luring us in, Sarah. I think this is all a ruse. I think
100% it is.
Poking the bear.
No, all right, if you guys are ready for this, Michael, Todd, what kind of training have you been doing for the last year?
Powerlifting.
Powerlifting. Tell me how much of that training has involved your traditional type arm wrestling training. And when I've asked you, hey, Michael, why aren't you doing more, I don't know, cable pulls and rope pulling? What did you say? Let me help you. What he said was, if I already know how to arm wrestle, I just need to get stronger. If I get stronger anywhere, it's going to help me on the table. Yeah. Somehow he's got a double standard, and that's flipped.
It was, I know how to arm wrestle. I'm just kidding, baby. I'm just kidding.
So, Jake, it actually has turned into a couples therapy session. That's actually what this is. So you can go back and edit that part out.
Yeah, I know. So what I'm going to get Michael and Rebecaa to do is I'm going to give you some homework, and when you can afterwards, write down 5 things that you both love about each other and look each other direct. Yeah, it's gone nuts. Right, Jason, before you fall asleep, your wife that you love so much is on the table. It's a big match. It's on the Monsters channel. There's going to be 5,000 to 10,000. I reckon about 12,000 this time. I'm predicting watching this match live. You're commentating the event. Great choice, by the way. You know I'm a big fan of what you do. How hard is it going to be trying to call this match without going, that's my wife? Yeah!
Wait, whoever
mega unbiased opinion.
I've never said, there's nothing in my contract that says I can't say that's my wife and have a mega unbiased opinion. They have not texted me any verbiage like that. So I don't know why you wouldn't
be commentating with him, but I will probably step aside and let someone else come up there just so I can be in Rebecca's corner.
Well, and we can put somebody in Jason's.
Yeah, I've talked to Chan Shaw actually, and even Bob Brown actually said he wouldn't corner either of you unless one of you was up like 2-0. He said, like, say, Sarah was up or you were up 2-0, whatever. He said then he would jump in the corner of the opposite lady. The lady would be on the. That's what he said.
That's so nice. He didn't want to
Rebecaa would lose to Jason.
Oh yeah, he definitely was like, I'm not gonna help either one of you. He was like, I like both of you.
That is what he said, though. 100%.
He did. He was like, I like both of you. So he was like, I don't want to help either one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he won't help me during my black match with Luke. Go figure.
What's that about?
I don't know. Yeah.
Seriously.
No, I'm really excited. Like Sarah said earlier, this is her first super match. One thing that I know Sarah is really good at, and again, even myself, I think the way we both train, the way I try to analyze the table and analyze things. What I like about super matches is, you get potentially up to 5 rounds just to have a restart. And if one lane doesn't work, we got another one. If that lane doesn't work, we got another one. Can we play more offense? Can we play defense? And I know Sarah's really well versed on the table. Like she's good. Like she's really good everywhere. She can top roll. She can hook. She can be fast. She can be just like she's got a lot of lanes. And so that's what's interesting, because again, we have never underestimated Rebecaa at all. For 2 reasons.
Whoa! That's not the text messages I've been getting from you two when the three of us are in a group chat.
I didn't finish.
It started off with like that. That Rebecaa is what? I'm reading it now. That Rebecaa is going down that big sack of potato.
It was just broken bone emojis. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We because again, we know that here's the thing with us, we're like the kind of people that don't trust anybody. We can see someone out there putting their thing out and it looks like they're not training, but they're training their asses off, or vice versa in some cases. So we don't underestimate anybody. I think I'm a huge fan of mixed martial arts, and I always vote on the person that's or vote against the person that's overconfident. Like we're not overconfident at all. Yeah. We are prepared. That is how we feel. We are prepared, and we want Rebecaa to be strong and awesome. We want the match to be awesome. Yeah. And like I said, a shout out to Michael and Rebecaa when they asked me to do the commentating, whatever. It's what I enjoy doing. I've again, shout out to everybody who gave me positive feedback. I know I have big shoes to fill with Don Underwood. I know Don's a good dude, and he's liked. And I have way better hair than Don Underwood. So rest assured that that's where the game. It's gonna be there, and then just rise from there. But no, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm excited to have the pressure on me. I miss, what I do right now for work. I make T-shirts and I personal train, so I definitely miss performing. I miss being on the mic, and opportunities I've had to do it here in Vegas, a few times out in San Diego, to be on the mic live and just calling everything. I like interacting. I haven't talked to the logistics with Michael and Rebecaa as far as are we going to be interacting with the super chats or this and that, and I think it's very important. And there's people that do it well. There's people that do it well when it's not about being the voice of arm wrestlers. It's being the voice of the person who doesn't know what arm wrestling is. Joe Rogan was so great at UFC because he didn't overcomplicate things. He used his personality and he explained complicated positions, complicated situations to the layman. And that's my goal, is to get you excited about every match. And I am excited as a fan of arm wrestling, like you alluded to earlier. I'm watching everything, whether it's East versus West or the small tournaments in Ohio. I'm watching it, and I'm staying up to date with it. So in a match like this, where literally every match is awesome, from the undercard to the main match with Michael and Pablo, the Corey West, Cody Merritt match. I mean, every Craig Tullier. I know how strong. I've never trained with Brandon. I know how strong Craig Tullier is, and it's like these matches are really cool. Chan Shaw, and BJ Fakakis. I just like that name, Fakakis. That's my favorite name to say. Yeah. But Chance and BJ, all these matches are great. I just wanted my job, and I think me and Mike are going to have fun. We're going to talk and just banter, and that's what's going to be. I think that's the thing with a lot of people get wrong when it's commentating. You're literally bantering over the sport. And it's like, go watch football, go watch the best UFC, like boxing, whatever it is, baseball. You're not going to have guys just analyzing. They're just talking. It's two guys that like the sport they're watching, talking about it. And I think it'll be a lot of fun with Michael. And I know how much he loves arm wrestling. He's a another historian where he's been paying attention to matches back in the day. Me too. I've been watching and following arm wrestling since the Dave Patton era. So I'm excited. It's a cool thing, and I can't wait to watch all the matches, including this one here. And yeah.
Oh, we're gonna continue on with that matchup. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, White Wolf, for your super chat. He says someone needs to break the super chat ice. He's a good guy. Says Jake, please get Mrs. Aussie in for the couples therapy. Guys, only advice. Only advice. Happy wife. Something. That is absolutely right. Happy wife, happy life. But she's looking after our beautiful daughter at the moment, as everyone is just having a bit of fun in the chat at the moment. Keep hearing the word lanes. Plenty of lanes. Lanes. Rebecaa, what's your lane to win this
I'm
match?
not giving that away. I just heard that she has all the lanes, and
She's all
have one lane.
All of them.
I'm not about to tell you which one it is. That's not happening. Not today.
Does it rhyme with
like 75% of another lane? You know what I mean? Like a lane and 3/4.
Well, we are definitely not giving that away. Well, I will tell you that in training, there's a helicopter that's right outside our window. So prior to my retirement and taking time off, and then when I decided to get strong again and start training again this year, prior to that, I had one certain way that I pulled that was very strong for me. I have found out that I actually pull better in another way coming in to this whole situation, right? And the reason where I found that out was we had a practice. I have never put up that footage. For good reason. I'll put it up afterwards. All right. So I found out at this practice that lane that I did have was not working well. And I found that out because the people that I was beating so well with it before I retired, it wasn't working out anymore. Like at all.
Yeah.
So, but it made sense when we thought about it, and I switched to the other thing that was working for me because of the cable pulls that Michael has had me pulling and the direction that he's had me pulling. That didn't translate to the way that I pulled previously. So I actually made an area stronger than I had not previously used. And I know I'm like speaking in, I don't know.
Very cryptic.
It's very cryptic. Okay, but what I'm saying is the lane that he says I have is probably not the lane that I'm most comfortable with using right now. And with those same people that we were practicing with, I had Angie, which
Yeah.
that's a no. Okay, just so you know, that's a no. But she was fabulous to work with me. And then I had Annie. I can't remember her last name. I had Annie from Oklahoma, and I had Sarah Ray McKinney, who not only did she make gains in the 4 years that I was off, like she got a lot more technical in the 4 years that I was off. She's probably a good 20 pounds more solid.
Yeah.
Since I last arm wrestled her, she's thick muscle now.
Yeah, she came a long way.
Yeah.
Very strong hand.
She's a big girl.
So,
Could you please? I think this would probably be one of the.
wait just a second. I'm not. I am hijacking your show. So, what I was gonna say is, so when I pulled them halfway through the practice, I did the other thing, and that was working much better. So I do have a couple of options. I just don't want to give them away to someone that has 10. You know what I'm saying?
Sarah's just gonna do this. That's what Sarah's gonna do.
Oh,
Dude, that's what
Jason
Sarah's gonna do. I can't. No, my thing is.
Your match. Just
Oh
so
shit!
you know.
Yeah.
I'm your head ref. Foul.
I'm fucked.
Foul.
I'm fucked.
Foul.
No, it's funny. No, it's funny because I told Sarah, look, we're prepared for everything. We're prepared for a ready go and Rebecaa to hit like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're prepared for
Well, that's
everything.
what we've been working on.
I bet.
Yes.
Actually, I've never been that person.
No, I
Hey,
know.
don't
We
tell
know.
them our tricks.
But that is.
We
well,
want to see a King's move, Rebecaa. Everyone in the
Right?
chat wants to see you.
King's
Do
That
a
would be
fake
awesome.
first round. Do a fake first round just so you can drop into the King's move.
It'd be
Then
awesome,
Michael
man.
comes, gives you a kiss, says, I love you, baby. I think that'd be the best 10 seconds of arm wrestling.
See,
And then Rebecaa becomes the most hated female in arm wrestling.
the problem
Just
with
like
this
that.
is- let me take the sweatshirt off just a second.
Your arm trains out.
Yeah, the problem with me doing a King's move is I got full use of my arms. You know, I
That's
got
true. I do as
great
well.
Motion here.
I
He doesn't really have
I'm
that.
like, I can't
you know?
do that.
I don't
Picking
think,
on the handicap. You see
yeah.
that?
I don't think the King's move can work for me because of that.
My arm actually straightens
It actually straightens all the way.
all the way.
You've
What
definitely
kind
had
of
time off
moron
before.
wants that? What kind of moron wants to be able to do that?
So do my
That's
wrist.
right?
My
Crazy.
wrist completely
Crazy.
Yeah.
normal.
Exactly. I've
That's-
lost a little mobility in my wrist.
Now,
You
you know
have-
what's funny?
I worked on that.
Earlier, Rebecaa was alluding to, and she was getting all the statistics for the first female match on the Monster Factory 1, and she was getting really serious, and she was just like, yeah, and that's why Sarah and I are, and I was going to be like, going to do the match in bikinis. And I was like, oh shit, all right, we're going there. I was like, that makes sense. That's why she's doing CrossFit. She just wants to look better in a bikini. So I don't know.
We already said
I
we're
guess
gonna
that
weigh
didn't-
in with bikinis.
Yeah, I guess that didn't happen.
Oh.
Behind a towel, Sarah. I don't know what kind of show you.
So then because Jason, you're pulling on the pre-show
Friday.
the Friday night, aren't you? So you compared Saturday. So I'll ask.
I'm
you
going to do the
first,
commentating
Jason.
for that match. Yeah, I'm going to be commentating while I'm doing. I'm going to be like, dude, man, this guy Luke is really strong. So
Absolutely, as Hansy says, damn, Rebecaa is jacked. I'm telling you, Hansy, they're both jacked. They're both in great condition. But what would you prefer, Jason? And I'll ask the same to you, Michael, because you're both competing. Michael's in the main event against Pavlo, which we'll get to in just a moment. But would you rather pull first and then focus on your wife's mega match, or would you rather focus on your wife's mega match and then pull after, like Michael is?
for me, to be total, I mean, I'm just being 100% honest. I can show you text messages between Rebecaa and I, between Luke and I. When they asked me if I wanted to do this, the match before, I was like, I literally was like, whatever they need, that was my answer. And it wasn't because I didn't care who it was. I didn't even ask who it was. Luke's bigger than I am and then I realized they were asking me the same thing. I get a message from Luke. Hey bro, how much you weigh? And I'm like, shit, it's going to be you, huh? And I'm like, I'm like, less than you. Yeah, I'm like, less than you. And because I have actually been cutting, because I want to get down to my natural weight, right? When I compete, I compete at 72 to 76 or 70, 76. And I just don't like weight cutting anymore as I'm getting older. It's like, I don't like to put it on my body. But I've never missed weight, but so I just kind of want to get leaner so I can make that the cut just a little bit easier. So when they asked me about the match, I was like, man, I know Luke's like close to 200 pounds. And I was like waking up like 186, 187, something like that. And I'm not in a, and this is not built in excuses. This is just me being brutally honest. I'm not peaked or prepared or anything for this match. I don't think I'm in the same realm as Luke is. I think he's way more, he's a 6-time national champion. I believe he was supposed to go over and represent Team USA in Masters division at 90 kilos. I mean, like I said, I think he's a level above me, especially with the weight. Maybe if we were both, maybe closer weight, it might be more competitive. But I'm just going in there and just going to have fun. And it's a cool thing. I get some screen time. Maybe I can look more handsome and show off some, my arms look really odd. Like Luke put a photo up with Michael and Bob Brown, and he's out angling the both of them. And I was like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I don't know, but we'll see. So I know I'm fast. I know I'm strong. Well, Luke might again. It's a cool. It's a test to me. It's no different if you said to me, "Hey, do you want a chance to, wrestle Habib Nurmagomedov?" I'd be like, "Sure, I'll try. He's gonna whip my ass, but I'll try." And that's my answer to that. I guess in a normal situation, if there was a match was really serious, I don't know. I probably want the same thing that I'm doing right now. Just do my thing, get it over with, and then do the commentating. So, but my head will be pretty clear. I'm a professional.
Yeah. What about you, Michael? Considering this is a pretty important match, and Rebecaa sharing some personal information about anxiety and a first match from 4 years off, would you, if you got to organise the card, would you prefer to go before or after Rebecaa?
He set it up. Come on. He set it up.
Oh fuck, that's awesome.
He put me where he wanted me to be because of how it could affect and impact his
So
match.
we did put Rebecaa and Sarah the final match in the undercard because in case there was an injury, because at the time I was pulling John Brzezinski for the super heavyweight Monster Factory title right-handed. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna. People are paying to see me and John, or not paying. They're wanting to see me and John Bull, and so if something happens, I have the option of changing me from the main event to the very first match. I can run my match, and then we can go take care of whatever injury potentially could happen. I did that on purpose so that just in case, I don't believe there's going to be an injury. I don't think and the reason I say that is I don't think she will, if she gets in a bad position, I don't think it's as important to her to try to get the win enough to hurt herself. You know what I mean? But it can happen so fast, you can't stop it. I mean, I've been holding tournaments since 1993. So 29 years now, had 20 something arms broke in competition, so, and those are ones I couldn't stop. They just happened too fast. Right.
Yeah.
So anything's possible, but just, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be very supportive of her. I don't, even if I was pulling John Brzezinski or if I was pulling Levon, I'm going to be fine whether I pull before her or after her. It's not going to affect my approach. I don't really have to get real revved up, psyched up. I'm still always, for me, I'm always a little bit second guessing myself until the first go, regardless. Like, Jake, you and I could have a super match, and I will be nervous about our super match.
I would be too.
Super match. If Levon or anybody was here in the hotel room, we'd get the table out and just start arm wrestling. No big deal.
Yeah.
But because it's a super match and there's an importance associated with that, I'm going to be nervous.
Oh, you're that way at tournament day too.
Tournament day, same thing. Like I pulled the North American Championships, pulled 6 divisions or whatever, and I knew I was the highest level at the event, but I was still nervous regardless of it was a 242 class, Masters division, didn't matter. Before that first go, I was second guessing myself. So I'm always going to be that guy, whether she arm wrestles first or I arm wrestle first. So it's not going to have a negative impact on me. I just want to make sure she knows I'm there to support her.
There we go. Magnificent.
Jake, I would not be nervous to have a super match with you.
Well, you should be.
I just want
that's okay. I'll just make a multi-time world champion nervous.
I'm not.
I would just be nervous gazing into your eyes, Jason. That'd be my problem.
I have a very light hazel green color eye. It's again. I'm going to pull those out with Luke. That's why I'm wearing my glasses now. So I'm going to use everything I can.
So speaking of nerves and everything, Sarah, do you have your approach to your very first super match? Are you a person that's just full throttle, whatever? It's I'm a competitive beast. I'll just train. Or do you have these nerves and these butterflies? Do they build right up, or is it moments before the match? What's your game plan?
Because it's my first one, I think I'm more excited. For me, especially because I grew up in entertainment, the lights, the stage, everything like that doesn't really faze me. It's more of because it's my first one. Of course, I've got little jitters like here and there, but I am gung ho. Like I'm so excited for it. I'm just ready to get on the table. That's how I feel right now.
What's the score going to be?
Between me and Rebecaa?
Yeah. No. I can read out what you text me. You said to me,
I would say
no point getting Rebecaa on the show because I could beat Rebecaa in a game of Connect 4 in 3 moves.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually gonna go along with what Lachlan said. I think it could go either way. I think I'm shooting for 3-2, either one of us. And Lachlan actually said that a while back.
She's lying.
No,
I saw the video.
because you never know what could happen. She could have that move.
The lane. We're gonna stay away from the lane.
She could have the lane that beats me. Arm wrestling mathematics does not work.
It's weird.
It's so weird. Anything could happen. So I'm just gonna say 3-2. Either one.
Mrs. Todd? Would you what do you think the score would be? And then I'll get the gentleman's answers afterwards.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm not giving you a prediction, but if it does end up being 3-2, either way, we will do a bikini show.
Yeah!
Because
Yes!
I will be so damn happy. I will be like,
Yes!
you know? Yeah.
Is that Monster Factory 4 or is that just like a separate event?
Yeah, let's make that a summer
That's
event.
your
Summer
birthday.
event.
That's at your party afterwards.
Yeah.
Bikini
December
bowling.
in Arkansas, just let you know.
December in
You don't
Arkansas
wanna
is not
do
bikini.
This
day.
is why everyone
We're not gonna
watching, this is why you need to become a member of Michael's channel. This is why
Oh,
you get the
members
behind the
only.
scenes bikini birthday bash
After.
bowling bonanza. It is all kicking off. Michael, how do you think the match will go?
He pretty much said that already, didn't he? He said, I'm not that optimistic. I remember the words. Do you remember the words? I'm pretty sure somebody can cut it out and make one short of it.
So,
I remember.
Rebecaa, I want to do the commentating.
I'm kind of in a pickle here.
Michael, we're praying for Michael. I'm praying for him, and yeah, it's gonna be a long flight. It's gonna be.
Pass to Jason, please.
I was gonna say, Michael's already Googling if there's other rooms there available at the hotel. He might have to get his own tonight.
Like I said,
You can stay here, Michael.
I know what's a win for Rebecaa. If she's in the match at all, it's a victory for her. That's really how she sees it. It's a victory for her just to make it to the stage and be up there and have the ready goes. That's a victory. But I know she has told me on multiple occasions, if I can just be in the match, that's a victory to me. And I'm telling you, she has potential to be very, very good at the sport again. I mean, she won 7 national titles. She's gotten wins over, at the time in her career, very strong women, Michelle Smart, Valerie Beach. I mean, all top contenders at the time. And she's pinned them all at one point or another, right? She's just not passionate about it. So if there was a situation where she became very passionate to do the specific training necessary to be great at arm wrestling, I wholeheartedly believe that she's a Masters world champ anytime she wants to put 6 months of real training in. I believe that. Is that the form that she's in right now? We honestly don't know because I haven't seen her on the table. I know the things she's doing in the gym far exceed what she's done in the past. I mean, you're almost back to where you were. So just to give you a little hindsight, Rebecaa and I got together and I was her personal trainer, right?
2012, maybe?
2011, she got in ridiculous shape. By 2012, she was a freak. At 135 pounds, I watched her bench 135 pounds for 30 reps. It was ridiculous. Like,
Oh,
I can see her jump up and do 2-inch thick pipe pull-ups, 30, 40 reps with ease. She is catching back to that form, right? She's not quite there.
Say, and then she married Michael.
Yeah.
Everything went up.
100% downhill. Very busy.
Yes, sir.
So she didn't have time to train. But so it just see her passion about regaining strength, because for a long time she had self-esteem issues about her amount of muscle that she naturally carried and about being strong. And I want skinny arms. I'm like, well, you don't have skinny arms. You're not gonna have skinny arms. Well, I want skinny. You're not. You're a gymnast body. That's what you're gonna have.
You're talking to somebody that understands that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
It's
now
tough. It's really
she is in a position to where she aspires to be strong,
Yes.
and that is a turn on for me. Like that makes me happy for her, right? Because I know the potential that's within her is significant. And I don't want to do anything to derail that. So whether it's arm wrestling, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's just being a strong woman, I'm her biggest supporter.
Yeah. So whatever Mrs. Todd wants to do, you're behind it 100%. That is, of course, that's how a normal man should be. Definitely. Well, thank you again. He says, prayers for Michael. Visit Arm Gods for the sermon. Get on to Arm Gods, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret Thompson is running Arm Gods in January. We would love it, Michael, if you come and ambushed Arm Gods, like when Devin ambushed you in the garage.
That'd be
got
fun.
Arm Gods in
I'm
January.
going to give you a little insight. Devin is not safe. He has an ambush coming. Just so you know.
Can you drop a couple more clues for me? Can we turn this into like an ongoing mystery?
It'll be at a stem cell clinic. I'll tell you that. That's an insight. Michael's gonna walk in. He's like, we've secretly replaced these stem cells with poison. Like, and Devin's arm just keeps getting more and more atrophied. Yeah.
Can you give me a time frame, Michael? Can you give me a time frame on the ambush? Just a vague.
Absolutely not.
Can't get
Yes.
Damn it!
Don't let him
Damn
go.
it! No, that is all right. I'll pay up that privately. Rebecaa, is this a one and done for you?
Do what?
Is this a one and done for you? Is this just like one match? I've done it. That's not a problem. I'm going to go back to CrossFit. Or are you just gonna?
So let me answer.
I really want to answer this.
No, I'm answering this.
But I don't want to answer this.
I want you to hush.
I'll hush.
Okay.
So basically, what I think. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Shut up. So, how this is going to work? We have a tour next year where this guy next to me is going to be. It's not 100 matches he's going to win. He's looking to win 100 first places. He's going to be entering tournaments all over the United States. I highly doubt that I'm with him for all of that time, and I don't get on the table at some of those tournaments myself.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I need 100 first places, and team first places count. So if I need the extra 20 points from her, she's getting her ass up there. You know what I'm saying?
So
points by affiliation
done as far as super matches. Okay, the problem with me with super matches is I need for arm wrestling, if I'm going to do it, I need for it to be something that I decide today, and in an hour I'm on the table. I don't need for it to be something weeks and months ahead, because then I've got too much time to think about it, to imagine bones breaking, and now it's part of my nightmares and all this other crap. I just can't do it. My head doesn't work that way for me. So I'm much better fit for a tournament type format. Setting, right? And also, I love getting on the table with girls at practices,
women.
Yeah, one of the things that I really enjoyed about our tour in 2021, right?
2022.
In 2021.
2021, you're right.
21.
I'm wrong. I was thinking we were in 2023 already. I don't know what's happening.
In 2021, we hit all 48 states in 5 months, and we had practices usually 3 or 4 times a week. We were hitting practices, and
More than that.
When there were ladies there, I loved pulling with them. And the newer, the better, because if you can grab a hold of them when they're just starting to learn and show them some key things to change, and show the men in their club how to train with women, because a lot of them don't get it. If you are hitting on women, you're an asshole. You know, you need to wear a band.
Or if you're their personal trainer and you end up marrying them, asshole.
You need to have a band on your hand, unless the woman's just strong.
We were married first. We were married
first.
But you're probably right.
You're probably right.
Sharing that part. So I can't, it's not a one and done. I will arm wrestle some more. I do not know in what setting or when, but yes, you'll see me on the table some more.
Good. I don't know if you guys saw the FitCon that we did in Florida. I mean, obviously I had the recent injury to my bicep, and I had the left shoulder injury and all that, but I had commitment. So I got on the table, did some beat the champs. But when some of the girls are there, like Christian Nunn, freak bodybuilder, just super jacked, I got Rebecaa on the table with her, and it just made sense. And that's another new person, strong following, social media following, who fell in love with it, right? And then there's another girl who's there right after we got through with her, Ashton Penny, who's a fitness physique competitor, also a social media influencer, who just was soaking it up like crazy and was picking it up. Like, she went from pushing to outside top rolling, like right out the gate as soon as we taught her some technique. The two of them actually had a match, Christian Nunn and Ashton. Both of them want to come to Monster Factory and train and shoot some content. So they're both excited about arm wrestling. So just getting her on the table with these other women and letting them, I mean, she's really good at teaching that as well. So that's a part of her that I think will always be there. But as far as what we're doing right now with the super match format, it will be a very specific reason she would take another super match, in my opinion. Like she said, showing up at the tournament, deciding to pull, I think that's always going to be an option. Doing super matches where she has this much time to regret the decision to take the super match, you know, is not ideal, because she does have the anxiety still. And until she gets a better way to deal with that, I don't really want to put her back in a situation like this again. Me personally.
Okay, awesome. Really appreciate it. Travis Newsom, thank you very much, you dead set legend. With the super chat, he comes in, he says, there's a video of Rebecaa destroying Michael on a pull-up bar.
Oh, that was funny.
There he is.
I think you did outperform me, but
I did outperform you.
Yeah.
So it is in there. Takes Iron Hip is in the chat. Says, I'm late, but I'm here for Aussie. Thank you, my Iron Hip. Sarah, all goes well for you. You come out victorious. You get a good win. What is your hit list of future matches?
Of like women to pull?
Yeah.
Ryan Bowen.
Ryan Bowen, number one. He's definitely my number one. I mean, any of the women in my weight class. Any of the women.
Name names. Give people some names so then people in my chat that may not be familiar with them can go do a bit of research and then say, hey, Sarah, I think such and such would be the best person.
Leanne. Yeah. So my ultimate mountain to get over is Leanne Wilson.
Okay,
she is by far my mountain is her.
So have you pulled her recently?
Not recently.
In April.
I know it's like prior.
No, I haven't.
The thing is, I'll give you insight. And this is
Gabby said it too.
Gabby Vasconcelos, and again, you know how it is, Michael. I'll talk to Michael first, and Jake as husbands. You know how it is when you tell your wife something, and you can tell it to him 100 times, and then someone else comes and says, "Hey, you know that? Oh my God, that's the most amazing, profound news I've ever heard in my life." Dude,
that never happens to me, Jason. I don't know what you're talking about. My wife is perfect.
All right, so for the other gentlemen that are watching, no, but so after PAL Vegas was the last time Sarah and Leanne pulled. I got on the table with Leanne, and I just wanted to see what she felt like. And to me, when I felt both of those, I know what Sarah feels like. I know what Leanne feels like, arm wrestling wise. I'm being, and that was a joke. I thought immediately, the first thing I said, I was like, "There's no difference. You guys aren't. The strength is the same. Strength is exactly the same. The difference was in tenacity and understanding transitions."
Yeah.
So
Table
what
IQ
Leanne
is
does better
ridiculous.
than Sarah hits to a spot and stays in that spot. Leanne hits to that spot, feels friction, comes to another spot. That's the only difference. Now, so ever since then, that's all we were working on with Sarah is her transition.
My transition.
Expect to get stopped. So you didn't ask me my prediction, Jake, by the way, but I'll give it to you if you want me to. But Gabriella Vasconcelos and was here a couple weeks ago, like 2-3 Fridays ago, and got on the table with Sarah, and who had just pulled Lee Aaron at the John Brezink Cup in Utah, and Gabby said the same thing. I asked Gabby, I said, "What do you think of them two?" She's like, "The same. They're the same." She said, "The strength." She's like, for me, Gabby said that they strength the same strength, and I was like, and Sarah's like, comes in, "Oh my God, did you hear Gabby said me and Lee Aaron like feel about almost the same?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly
Lee Aaron's
exactly what I said to you a
Aaron's
year ago."
tenacity and her table IQ is absolutely ridiculous.
The thing about Lee Aaron that we've noticed when we've pulled with Lee Aaron, or when we've watched her practice and we've watched her compete, is you're right. It's her table IQ. She transitions like a European. Like one of the European arm wrestlers. She transitions and she transitions fast. The tenacity is ridiculous. She has no fear about hitting from any point on the table. But you're right. She's still 130-pound
140,
person with strength, with strength that is appropriate for her. She just uses it well. And so my point,
amazingly well.
Yeah. So to that end, what I'm saying is because you know that she has the win, and we need to have her back.
Oh, so you're just letting Sarah have this one here, so they can set up.
I was waiting. I was like, here comes Michael in 5.
Put your money on Sarah. Armbet.com. We've got the fixes in. Armbet.com. Bet on Sarah quick before they take it down. The fix is in.
I'm just saying.
I need, for me personally, though,
your way. You know,
I need more wins for me personally. I think I have to beat. Yes, I think I would have to beat the girls that she's beat. Jason thinks that I should just go.
I think this. I think no, and I understand where she's. I understand where she's coming from.
I'm being respectful.
No disrespect, because I love Lee Aaron and Ben so fucking much.
Yeah.
But no disrespect. I just think if again, like Floyd Mayweather, if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's a match that who wouldn't want to see that match? If Sarah comes off and if Sarah comes off and looks dominant against a strong Mrs. Monster, Rebecaa Todd, and she is strong. We know she's strong. And if Sarah can look dominant against Rebecaa, then who wouldn't want to see? It just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you jump in ranks in boxing, MMA, whatever, where this guy just puts on such an awesome performance that you're like, dude, that might be the guy now. And it makes sense. And, hey, if it's close, then I don't, maybe it doesn't make so much sense. But if Sarah can look dominant, fucking flex, look pretty, I think it could be
and then yell at the camera and say, "Lee Aaron, you're a bitch. I want you next, bitch," and things like that.
That's what I'm going to be saying for the commentating.
The thing about that is, and I understand where you guys are coming from, and I hear a lot of this type of talk out in the community too when they're talking about matches that Michael should be able to have, and stuff like that. The thing is it doesn't matter who someone thinks someone deserves to pull. What matters are the matches that are being offered, and what matters is what matches those athletes are accepting.
No, you're right.
I agree. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The same thing. Yeah, it's basically what I'm saying.
And so, would Lee Aaron turn down a chance to come back and be on a main card? I highly doubt that.
Yeah. Well, it's like if Michael, Michael gets a lot of flack. I mean, you do, brother. When it says that he wants Levon, but the reality is, no matter what, if they book Michael and Levon right now on King of the Table, East West 6, guarantee you're buying it. guarantee you're
Everyone
fucking
would
buying
watch.
it. And
Well, the
so,
thing is
right,
that
yeah.
Levon gets to choose who Levon pulls.
exactly, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that what we're saying as far as the matches don't need to make
Oh, yeah.
sense and this or that. Sometimes you got two people you just want to see arm wrestle,
Yeah.
You just
and
want to see arm wrestle.
I
Yeah.
want to see that match. Hell yeah, you know. So
Well, and until, which it will never happen, until there is only one promotion.
yeah,
Yeah.
league, whatever, right?
Yeah.
For someone to say, but this person is ranked this, and this person needs to pull this person next. Well, that makes sense if you have one promotion
If it's
that is
one
arranged
promotion,
matches. But we have 77, you know,
Yeah.
so
At least,
it-
right?
yeah. Literally.
yeah, so it could literally go anywhere, any promotion, if they just have the money and they want to have the match.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
guarantee you, I can get the money to offer Levon enough to come to the Monster Factory and pull me.
Yeah,
You
this
know what I
isn't
mean?
about you.
So I mean that is something that is a very real option down the road. If that's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
way I can get the match, right? If
Sure,
I
sure.
still pursue and want that match, I'm excited about my quest for 100 starting in
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I
about
think
that.
that's awesome.
That's never been done before. Do you understand how difficult it's going to be to win 100 first places? I mean,
Now, Michael,
it's
this is
unrealistic to think that I'll
also
win every event. You know.
yeah, but this is also for like any sport, correct? A first place in any sport.
You could be
Oh.
competitive eating.
Yeah, I can do anything. Like I can go win a master
Ah.
240-pound powerlifting meet.
Ping
You know,
pong.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
selling 100
So
first places.
you just
The
want
majority of them
100
will be arm
first
wrestling,
places.
right?
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't hear Sarah say what.
You could do it's just 100 first place
Yeah.
through sports.
Yeah, I mean it's through anything. I
Right.
mean, porn, whatever.
Or
You know,
pie
I
eating
mean,
contests.
Just a quick shout out to our very good friend Marcus Thompson with a mega super chat as always. Supports a
Marcus.
lot of arm wrestling. Says good luck, Rebecca and Sarah. May the best person win. Mike, hope you have a great event. You deserve it for all the hard work you both put into this sport. Next year, we're going to get you a big match for Arm Gods. Bang. That's what we want, Marcus.
That's
Absolutely. That
Okay,
that's what we want. Guys, get some questions in because we're probably only going to go for 5 or 10 minutes max. These guys are going to go to bed, rest up because they've got a busy week. So probably 5 or so minutes. So get your questions in if you want to ask anyone. Michael, can you just give everyone a quick update on the bicep injury?
Yes, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to give a quick update on the bicep injury, and I'm going to tell you the entire card from preliminaries to undercard, main card. Bicep injury. Tuesday will be 42 days since I got stem cells, 47 days since the actual injury. So that means right now I'm 40 days and 45 days out from the injury, 40 days since the initial injections of the stem cells. At 28 days, we decided to get another round of stem cells. Basically because the lady had suggested, my nurse practitioner said, at some point you might want to get another round. And I'm thinking, well, I've got a quest for 100 next year. I can't get 4 weeks where I have to take off. Rebecca's like, well, can we go ahead and do them now? She's like, well, it can only help. You will just have to extend your downtime, your rehab, an extra 2 weeks. So that basically ends up being Tuesday, which really means I can't do a lot of working out this week because I pulled Pablo on Saturday, right? But at 28 days and 4 weeks, the first initial photo of the ultrasound where you could see the entire, the front side of the tendon was completely torn. It was holding together on the backside. At 28 days later, all new tendon growth reattached completely.
It's crazy.
So the tendon's completely reattached, and then that was 12 days ago, and then I got a second dose 12 days ago. So in my opinion, the bicep is healthy now. I haven't tested it. I haven't lifted anything over than probably a 50-pound suitcase with it. And in my workouts, I haven't exceeded 25-pound dumbbells yet. And then,
Michael,
so
did
after
you
this
have
match,
pain? Did you have pain before any of that?
I told the video the very first day of the Beat the Champ, the very first guy who was a normal guy, probably 190 pounds, 180 pounds, let him hit me. Obviously, arm didn't move, but I went to pin him and I told Rebecca, like, damn, some pain in my arm, And it's all, like I said, the biceps integrity is held up to some Plinkoff, Pushkar, every top super heavyweight over the last decade. Something in that fall in the UK, I landed wrong. you know.
Well, he landed like this. He stretched his arm out.
And
know.
I mean, I landed wrong. And then I came home, had to practice like a week later. Pulled Ron. Corey and I were banging hard. That's that one video where I talk a bunch of shit to him, and then he hits, and I just still him, and then he hits again. He gets pretty far over. I pull him back. I transition into a shoulder too soon. He surges all the way back to about 2 inches above the pad. I stop him, pull him back and beat him. But after that match, I'm like, damn, felt like my bicep was about to rip off. Rebecca's like, you should stop. I'm like, my bicep's not going to tear. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled him another dozen matches that day, and then he stayed with me for about another week. We pulled another 15 or so legit ready goes, and it still felt fine. We did hex bar 600-pound deadlifts with it. It still held up. But that first guy that I pulled at that beat the champ, I was like, ow, you know. So I pulled another 100 guys or so that day, and the next day I went that night, did a little rehab arm workout. 40 guys in the next day. 3 arm wrestlers show up, let them jump on me, and then Austin Jagger steps up, and my hand shot. So I was just like, let's put the strap, and he hits me over. Look at the camera like, this guy's pretty strong. And I started pulling back, and it just zippered my bicep. So, yeah, I didn't feel anything other than that first guy the day before. But as far as like pain, like, oh, something's going to tear, no. And then I had pain for probably 2 weeks, maybe 10 days. And I don't have any pain at all now. I'm getting crazy pumps when I do my volume work, but it's probably because I haven't done any work, right?
So looking back, you know, hindsight's always better. There were indications that something wasn't right, and that he might should have paid attention.
When I stepped off the match with Corey, I was like, damn, my bicep was there. That probably was a pretty good indication. You know what I'm saying? But, but I don't know, man. I just never ever thought, with all the stuff that it's been through, but then my arm doesn't straighten. My arm doesn't straighten. So I didn't. But what after we realized, because the limited range of motion of my arm, my tendons have actually shortened.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they are at their fullest range, where I thought, well, I still got range left, because
he thinks it's just hanging around.
Yeah, I was like, I just got it just chilling, you know.
Kind of there.
Yeah, it's something I preach about a lot with arm wrestlers. You know, everyone's doing this short range curling and stuff like that, you know, and things. And I understand their mentality because they want to be strong in that thing. But if you know, like, I also, you know, because I have a background in like biomechanics and things like that as well that I've studied. And the one of the main reasons that biceps are getting torn in arm wrestling from these really strong guys is literally because of that. You shorten the range of motion, your tendon becomes stronger but shorter. So as you go, once it lengthens, just like you see those videos of the guys doing preacher curls, you know, and they start getting and all of a sudden it goes go, and it just rips. And well, what you want to try to do, I'm pulling this arm out, but what you want to try to do is one of the best things, like it's something that I've been trying to preach anyone I've trained or try to help train for arm wrestling specifically, is doing something where you're literally sitting back, so your bicep is all the way stretched out, and you're doing like a incline seating table curl like that. And the thing is because what it's doing is it's actually lengthening. Now, granted, you're not going to lift as much weight. It's not fun to put on Instagram, you know. So, but you're bulletproofing your arms to not have that tendon because you're getting your tendon strong as it's lengthened as well. So that's just some food for thought.
So that's actual gold, and someone should definitely clip that and put that out, because that's some of the best advice that I've heard in a while. But I mean, just like with CrossFit, I work on mobility so much because mobility is what prevents injury. And 100%. If you are working to have a shorter range of motion and decreasing your mobility there, then you're more susceptible to injury. So that's actually fantastic advice, and that needs to be shared.
Right.
How I recommend doing it, just my recommendations is, everyone knows I do high volume 30 rep set training. The first 25 reps are more of a short range pumping motion. The last 5 have always been full extension, because that full extension forces, because you're getting so much blood in there, and that full extension stretches everything back out. And I finish every 30 rep set with the last 5 being stretched out. So, like I said, it's always work. And because that's what people always like, oh, you're on your bone. Well, if I'm on a bone, I'm holding you. Why is my bicep so full of blood? Because the biceps engage the entire time, right? Because it's right before it gets to the bone. It's the tendons and ligaments and muscles got really strong right before my arm completely straightens. So apparently that is my range of motion. Like right there at the right before it stops is where my tendon is. I mean, I guess could potentially be vulnerable. Now, I didn't think it was. She's petting your cat
on my computer screen.
Like, there's the cat.
About
Rebecca, you would
$200
love
worth of
her.
information there. That's
She's the best.
unreal. I'm with you, Rebecca. I hope people take what Jason and Michael have just said and really understand when they're at the gym to look after themselves. That's absolute sound advice. And for someone that's probably doing more the low weight 30 reps now with my full hip replacement, I'm big on full range of motion for sure. Spermy's ass is creamy, has said Monster. Wishing you and Rebecca success.
Thank you
Thanks
so
very
much.
much. Appreciate it.
Rebecca, let's tell everyone, where can we watch it?
Oh, yeah.
What time can we watch it?
Okay, so we've got 2 times that you want to tune in. Now, the main event, the undercard and the main card are all going to run together starting at noon Central Time, which is 6 p.m. I think, Phil Woody, correct me if I'm wrong, GMT. That's UK time, right? So just figure it out from noon Central Time, CST. It's going to start, and it will probably run.
On December 10th.
On December 10th, probably
December 10th.
3 hours is all that's going to take. That link will not drop until Friday, December 9th, because we wait till John comes down, because it's going to not just be on our YouTube, although our YouTube is where all you guys want to tune in to watch it. It's also going to run on Redcon 1's YouTube and Facebook, Nine Lines YouTube and Facebook, Kai Green's, all of that. So it's going to be on different platforms. But you want to subscribe, click that bell for notification to Monster Michael Todd, so you'll be notified when we drop that link. The other time that you want to tune in is Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Okay,
December 9th.
December 9th. That's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard,
3 p.m. Pacific.
3 p.m. Pacific time, right? And the reason you want to tune in then is because that is when we're going to have our preliminary matches. You're going to see Jason versus Luke Pulcher. You're going to have Rush Schrader versus
Robbie Karstendijk.
Robbie Karstendijk. His dad is the one that is responsible for getting all these North Americans, these amazing stem cells.
Vitacell Biologics.
Vitacell Biologics, right?
Use code Monster.
Yes.
Is
And
that
you're
where
going
my
to
man, the Chicken Man, is arm wrestling? Is the Chicken Man on there?
Yes.
Strawberry Cough. My man, Joe Cagle.
Joe Cagle.
Love that guy.
Travis Tuggle. We'll
Yes.
have that, and we will also have the weigh-ins that are necessary to weigh in. These people that have got championship matches, this guy next to me, we have 4 championship matches.
Yeah, so obviously Corey and Cody don't have to weigh in.
I think it would be entertaining.
Paul and
In bikinis.
In bikinis. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pulling the heavyweight title right-handed at 240. Pablo and I are pulling the heavyweight left-handed title at 240. Craig and Brandon Seltzer are pulling the middleweight title at 200. So, and then the ladies have a weight that they planned on meeting at. Who knows if they're going to stick to that?
We're always
You know what I'm saying?
negotiating. So-
I'm not privy to that conversation. I just know.
I will, Jake. It started at 125. I think they're in Cody and Corey is the same weight class now.
We're good. So what
Yeah.
happened?
We're good.
So it was 130 actually was where it started, and then we're like, well, 135, and I'm like, well, it's 135, but there's a 5-pound clothing allowance, so we can weigh in our flip flops and bikinis and be 140.
140. Exactly.
So there's
It's
all this
perfect.
stuff going on, right? But
Because
no,
we
so
were
there'll
the
be
same.
weigh-ins.
We were literally the same exact weight. Like 4 days ago, we were like, why don't we just?
Here's the deal, Sarah. We are fine. We are fine. I'm going to definitely lean out a little bit because I have to get rid of this travel bloat, and we've eaten Giordano's.
We have had
times.
Giordano's 3 times.
I'm still gonna be dropping some weight too.
Yeah, once I get home, I figure that I'll probably drop about 7 pounds, but that is just travel stuff. Where I was before we traveled, I'm probably going to be around 132 to 135. I am not going to be upset and back out of a match if you are within 10 pounds of me. Okay, so we're fine. We are fine. But and the whole thing is, I think he wants me to weigh in because he wants me to stick to a nutrition plan. I'm like, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I gotta
When
make
we were in
240.
Vegas,
Even though Pablo said I don't have
And
to. I can't. If I do come out with a victory, I cannot accept that axe if I didn't make the weight. Right.
Yeah.
If I didn't make the 240-pound weight division, I won't feel good about if I do take the win.
So just in case I lost you guys, again, that is Friday, December 9th, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is because we're in Arkansas, right? 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, December 9th. Monster Michael Todd YouTube. Subscribe to him. Click that bell for notifications so you'll be notified when we drop that link. That link will be dropped on Friday. Watch our community tab or, like I said, get notified. And then it'll be Saturday will be the Monster Factory 3. It kicks off sharp at noon. That is one thing that we do not do. We do not wait and we do not delay. It starts at noon because we've got our crap and our ducks in a row and it's going to happen. All right. So at noon, if you're not there at noon, you're going to miss the start.
So that's December 10th, Saturday at noon. The undercard is going to start off with Roman Gromoff versus Dustin Hyatt.
Mm-hmm. Roman is our down ref.
So we're having his match first.
He is WAF senior referee. Having certified referees is very important, in my opinion. Okay.
Next match is going to be Bob Brown versus Kyle Howarth.
Oh, yes! Go the Aussies!
From Australia, Kyle Howarth versus Bob Brown. Bob Brown put on a hella match, handed out an ass whooping to Bill Logston, WAL's Bill.
Still love you,
Bill. And now Bob Brown about to get his ass whooped by my man, Philip Cole from Perth. Yes.
Third match is going to be Kyle versus Leroy Walker. Two freaks of strength, both over 600-pound raw bench pressers. Leroy Walker held the world strict curl record for a minute. Both have about the same time in the sport. Leroy's got a little bit more tournament experience, but Rebecaa is a very, very, very strong young man. I think it's Rebecaa. It's Rebecaa.
Rebecaa. Yeah, you can see him whip Monster's ass on Michael Todd's YouTube channel. They did a log.
We did Grace with,
a
136-pound log instead of 135-pound barbell, and he killed all of us.
He did.
So once I realized how far ahead of the game he was, I just tried to beat everybody else. So then we have the main card, which is going to then we have Joe Fox versus Brent Rikers, and then we have our ladies match, Sarah versus Rebecaa.
Joe Fox from Canada versus Brent Rikers. Yes.
Yeah, and then main card.
He's excited.
There's Joe. Yes, he is.
I'm excited to have him down.
Joe, your picture freaked me out a little bit. When you sent it to me, I told Michael you looked a bit like a serial killer, so I'm a little bit nervous.
She means that in the nicest possible way, Joe, but I did agree with her. You look like you might be like on a killing spree.
It was a little scary.
It might turn out bad for Brent that night. I'm not sure.
It might help me if you'll just send something smiling. I don't know.
Send us a smiley pic. But then main card, BJ Fakakis, Chan Shaw.
That's going to be a great match.
Paul. It was going to be Craig at first when I was pulling John, but since Pablo has two matches, we're going to let Pablo and Paul pull for the heavyweight title. Then we'll go to Craig and Brandon. Then Corey and Cody for the #1 in North America left-handed super heavyweight Monster Factory title. And then me and Pablo for the main event for left-handed 240 title.
Craig Touye and Brandon was actually supposed to happen in October with another promotion. Both of them were ready to go and very hungry. That match got canceled. So we are happy to entertain that match in the Monster
Factory. Daniel Mosier had to back out due to his wrist surgery. The replacement that made sense to me was Brandon, since that match was supposed to happen already. So that's how the card looks. I think it's going to be a very action-packed card. I think we have some really good matches on the card. I think we're going to have some surprises, and I look forward to seeing it. And then, we'll have some after pulling for a little bit, and then that evening will be the invite-only birthday party for Rebecaa and Craig Touye. So anyone at the event gets to come to that party and hang out some more. So it's gonna be a good time.
Absolutely, and I'll drop all that information in the comments section after this stream. And I'll be promoting the Monster Factory as much as I can.
Are you going to be live commentating?
Sorry?
Are you going to live commentate?
Well, that's something we can talk about off camera, because I know you guys are 50-50. I want to do live commentary. I want to do live commentary and send traffic to you, but I know you guys aren't the biggest fans of live commentary.
Jake, I'll use an Australian accent. I'll use an Australian accent and say get the best of both worlds. Every once in a while, I'll go, bye.
All that I want to say is, because you are, and this can be definitely live, and someone explained it to me that it's fun being on live commentary while watching it, even though there's going to be great commentating with Jason and Michael, right? It's good to be it's fun to be in it, even if they're not listening to you, because they're just hanging out with all the crowd, right? That's there. What I really want you to try to encourage with your viewers, should you do that, and we have no problem if you do, is if you notice.
She has no problem. No.
If you notice.
Oh, then you got to call
Michael
me
and I
out. It's all right.
Michael and I
Notice that your
Michael and I have a
numbers
big fucking problem.
are higher than what you can see is viewing on the live stream, because you can see it. You need to really encourage them to go and at least click it on another phone in a house or something, because
that's what we always encourage. It's always the event first, commentary second, and because you're giving it out live, we'll be pushing joining both conversations. Comment during your event, get your streams and everything in there, and then come back to us with our live commentary. I just love doing it because it helps me practice my skill, because I want to be able to travel the world. You know, I was lucky enough to get to King of the Table. But two, the goal is always the event first, because without the event, I can't commentate.
right. And one more thing, actually just a couple more, and this is important for any of you that want to do live commentating. It helps us a lot as promoters if you will drop the names of our sponsors while you're live commentating, and send us your analytics for what happened with your show, because the more people that are involved with the event, the better numbers that we can show future sponsors, the more of these events that we can put on and pay our athletes better.
Well, it comes down to this.
Analytics. That's a new one.
She may have one more thing, because she said a couple things. My thing is this: we're giving it to them for free. It's free. The only way I can fund this, if I have the analytics to go back and show sponsors, this is how many people are watching. So if people are choosing not to watch, but let's watch the live commentary instead, I don't like those people. Now, if they're going to do both, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to watch both, no problem.
Yeah.
But if you're going to choose to do the other, you're fucking arm wrestling is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, bottom line. Yeah, well, you know,
the last event, and I had, I reckon, about 150 people, as true as I'm sitting here, 150 people messaged me their laptop, and they had 9 live tab open. They had the Redcon face, because I showed them, hey guys, this is what I've got on my screen, and so everyone was getting the play time. Yeah. And I was like, guys, if you can just do that on your screen, let's go. And literally, you know, it'd be within 10 or 15, but about 150 people messaged me, went, yep, Aussie, bang, we've got I think we had 5 or 6 channels open.
No, it's fine to me, because to me, it's kind of like you're just having a big watch party.
Yeah. Secondly, if you choose to steal my shit, I will make sure she reports you.
It doesn't even have to be me.
I mean,
we have a
listen,
team that does that.
if you steal
my
own content, when all you had to do was click share my shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna affect my analytics negatively. Like, I reported somebody the other day, 500,000 views of the John Brzezinski Corey match. 500,000. Do you know how much that would have helped me getting sponsors for this event?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
People just doing everything we possibly can to make this as easy for the viewer to experience everything. Please don't hurt us or sabotage us being able to fund these events, because that's all you're doing.
Not meaning you, Jake.
No, Jake understands who I'm talking about. He knows I'm not talking to him.
He means them out there.
The assholes.
The flogs that pirate it. Yeah, the ones that just click the whole match and then go, hey, everyone, here's Sarah versus.
Somebody did it the other day. We found this, and they blacked out
the sponsor
and put it on their TikTok. Oh, and their YouTube short. You screen recorded my shit.
Blacked out the sponsor,
and then put it on your YouTube short.
They got a couple.
Wow, no.
Was it Devin?
I'm like, are you joking? Yeah. Like, what world?
It was Devin.
That
it was Devin.
The money and time we spend into putting into these events and hosting these things, you've done nothing, and then you're gonna tell me how you're promoting the sport by stealing my content.
And
500,000 views for 2 people that are monetized on YouTube. I know how much 500,000 views is. That's dumb.
And it's not even about the. I mean, yes, the monetization helps because this is our full-time gig.
But the
But you're
monetization.
hurting me on my ability to go out and show these analytics to future sponsors.
Mhm.
Which you want to have an East versus West in the United States? That's how I do it. You know, it's good analytics from these free shows that we're providing. You know, I might have an issue about some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know.
Well, it's just because we work so hard to make
Yeah,
it
I mean,
happen, you know.
Like I could just take off next Saturday and just lay in bed and watch TV. I don't have to have an event, you know, but I wanted to bring something cool to the community. And I enjoy it. Like I get to go to sleep in my own bed, wake up the next day and arm wrestle at my house.
Yeah.
Oh, can we clear something up? It's not a garage. There have been people that are like, Michael's arm wrestling is garage. It's not a garage, guys.
Well, I mean, it technically has garage doors.
But
so
I think
do a
it's
lot
bigger than my house.
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
your
Like,
monster
the garage
factory is
doors
bigger
are
than
what
my
we like.
house.
It worked with the way it looks, you know. I mean, it's a good functional look, but it's a 2,000 square foot facility. You know, I mean, it's nice. Yeah,
It
but,
is massive. Mega Mike in the chat.
Mike.
He said, "Thank you very much, Mike, for your super chat." He says, "Hi, if I can get a match in the near future, you're all awesome. Merry Christmas."
Mega Mike, we should talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Give us a shout,
Corey
Mike.
had nothing but great things
Absolutely.
to say about you and your family. So, and I know when we met,
Thank y'all for being so
I
nice
guess
and
it's
kind
early
to our gorilla.
2021. I'm sure you're more than welcome to come to the Monster Factory. We just have to find you an appropriate match. Ooh, pork chop.
There you go.
Cameron Curtis. That could
There
be
you
a
go,
good match.
Michael. Mega Mike, please respond. But yeah, so like,
Well, yeah,
That actually
Cameron.
could be a good match, you know?
I was gonna say Cameron just got he's pulling
Zurab.
Zurab now. East versus West 6, huh? Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
two guys that grind inside, you know.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting, Liz. Obviously, I love Mike as a person. Him and his wife Bonnie have been awesome to Sarah and I.
Yeah.
Really, really great family. Again, love them. And obviously, he's going against my my partner Brandon Allen the following weekend after the Monster Factory. So that's going to be a fun match. I think Brandon's first super match, obviously since Larry. So it's going to be an interesting match. Yeah.
Well, I like the new version of Brandon. I like this leaner fit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He just looks so healthy and happy, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
'Cause I
Absolutely.
can attest to
100%.
how much better you feel fit, you know.
Yeah. No. 100%. Yeah.
a great idea from the Schmo, which if you guys, Rebecca and Michael, could please do this for me, send me all the sponsors' links so I can have them posted and pinned and all of that. Because yes, I do promote the sponsors like at the last 2 Monster Factories. But yes, if I have links, because I was only sending links to the Facebook pages and things like that. I was actually speaking to one of the sponsors after the event. I reached out and just said thank you for helping put on this event. I think it was
See,
Rebecaa.
that is so fabulous, Jake. Can we clone you? Because I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. That is how people want to know how you grow the sport. You won't grow the sport without people putting money into the sport, and that sport or that money is not coming from the arm wrestlers. It's coming from bigger companies with deeper pockets, and they love getting pats on the back. You know, so anything.
Yeah, it was
do
just
to support.
well, I believe I messaged them both, and I
Uh-huh.
think Redcon responded, and it was just, hey, it took me 2 seconds because, like I said earlier, without arm wrestling events, I can't, commentate, promote, do my YouTube thing. So I was like, hey guys, thank you very much for sponsoring the Monster Factory. Hope you do it again. And we spoke for about 10 minutes, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what Jason and I are trying to do as well. I mean, we're all Max's first sponsored athletes in arm wrestling.
Mhm.
So the two of us are their first ones. So that's what we're trying to do as well. The same with you guys, Rebecca. Like, we're trying to get these big name companies looking at the sport. That's our goal. Because they're the ones who are going to put the most money in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not just a goal with the big companies. It's, to me, we got
With
to
any
get
company.
Well, no, we got to get people watching arm wrestling that aren't arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because we got the same 15 people over and over always commenting. Again, shout out to the guys that are always commenting. But we need more. That's what it is. You want to help grow the sport. Share the people you like. Share these people. Support their products. Support these codes and links. They're not just doing it so you can go, hey, give me money, give me money. We're literally saying like, hey, give me money. But it's also one of those things where if you want to show support to people, that's how you do it. Buy our products, invest in the Monster Factory stuff, invest in some of the Redcon or Allmax or whoever these sponsors are for us. And again, it's a synergistic process, because when one grows, then they have more faith. You get confidence, just like anything. In order for these people to invest in us, they need confidence. They need faith in us. And, that's just what it is. And it sounds like sometimes, because Michael's funny, I'm funny, we can say things like, "I don't buy my shit," or "buy my shit." But really, he does mean it like that, because if you want to support us, and you really want to show us how much you guys care and love us, and then just do it like that. Support us financially, and it does. It keeps these events going. It's a trickle down effect.
Yeah.
And but yeah, buy our shit. That's what we're trying.
In all of this, I know that you're like itching to get off, Jake, because you're like,
no,
this is my show.
I can talk for hours. You guys see me do a 24-hour stream. I'm more worried about you four. I can sit here forever and talk. Don't worry about that.
We're in a city that never sleeps. So
I slept all weekend. That's a lie.
I'm going to give you a real-time situation where this shows it perfectly. We had one sponsor, and he's been our sponsor, great sponsor, and he's been the sponsor of many other events as well. And I'm not going to call him out and say what his name is, but when we called him, awesome guy, loves arm wrestling. And when we called him about Monster Factory 3, he said, honestly, I just can't do it because
that's Monster Factory 2.
About Monster. No, we called about this one. He told us this recently.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna come back.
He said, honestly, I just can't do it because the community doesn't support it.
Yes. 100%. Okay, I thought we were talking about a different sponsor.
And we're
He's a great guy too.
Yeah, we are talking about this guy has an amazing product that is cheap.
Like, it's a very
cheap.
I mean, and he shows all kinds of love to every other organization and every
arm wrestlers.
Like, big time. And it just hasn't seen you haven't seen the support.
He hasn't seen the support, so he is not a sponsor of arm wrestling anymore. Because he's like, they look at it when they're sponsoring an event as advertising dollars.
Absolutely.
Advertising dollars are not having a payoff. They're going to find some way else to use those advertising dollars. It's not just charity.
Yeah, it's 100%. I've been big on that with the growth of the sport. I know a lot of people are struggling it. So like even 12 months ago, you could message Michael Todd and he would reply. But now the sport is growing, and instead of 100 messages a day, Michael might be getting 1,000 messages a day. So he can't respond to everyone. So people are starting to get angry. So when there's the likes of the group of us and everyone in the comment section, we're like, how can we build this sport up? A lot of people are like, no, I don't want it to grow too much. I want to be able to message Michael, Devin, John, and get a reply and things like that. So I have people all the time. I've had people wish that I would get cancer like my wife did. Like, that's how bad the community can actually go, instead of going, oh, here's a lunatic in Melbourne helping the sport. Let's get behind him. All I ask people to do is just to watch my stuff. That helps me more than anything in the world.
Watch my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can't. I love that voice. And the ready bang.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's one of those things that, like I said, I've been saying it from the beginning. Paul Italia, who was on our show, our Your Morning BJ, and he was saying and I love Paul because he simply says, like, he's a guy, and I think I think he gets shit from whatever, and I get it. But it's he said that he just likes to talk about arm wrestling to everybody, and that's the thing. It's a simple thing where when something's talked about, it ends up being more understood the more you understand it. But there's also a thing where you ever hear a song on the radio and it first comes on, it might be a new Justin Timberlake song, and you're like, that song's okay. It's like, all right, I've heard better. And then you hear it 100 times, and then you hear it 700 times or 1,000 times on the radio. And all of a sudden, the song that you heard 700 times or 1,000 times ago, where you thought it was okay, now you're there singing along and grooving to it. Well, why? Because there's something that works in our subconscious that does this kind of thing. But it's the same thing with arm wrestling. I'm not trying to We need Justin Timberlake is basically what I'm saying. No, but what we need to do is, so the more we're talking about it, the more you're promoting it, even at the smallest level. I only have 200 followers. So what? Still promote it. Promote these links that people are sending it. Promote the products. Promote yourself. Promote yourself. Well, I only got 200 followers. Okay, keep putting content out there. Next thing you know, you're gonna have 250. Then you have 300. Jake, you know what that's like. Michael, you know what it's like. And believe you don't have to. Yes, it's true. There's gonna be things. I'm never gonna have probably as many followers as Kim Kardashian. Pretty much I've accepted that and I'll go on with my life. But it's like, but it doesn't mean that you still can't grow your own brand. And then in that, you're a part of this whole thing. So why I'm saying this too is to the people that you're like, I don't want Michael to get too popular because then they can't message him anymore. You can't look at life like that. You know what I mean? You can't look, you can, to me, you can't. If you really love the sport, you love what it is, to me, you want it to be as big as possible. I always, on our show, I talk about a lot. I equate arm wrestling to right now to UFC in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, where you would tell people a couple years ago, I arm wrestle. And they go, wait, that's a thing? That's pretty much the consensus response. Just as way you would talk about UFC, and people knew the brands like Tap Out more than they actually knew the fighters, right? But there's a process and it will get there but what happens is when the sport transcends itself is when people start caring and investing in the individuals. It doesn't matter that there's two ladies arm wrestling. There's probably two ladies arm wrestling somewhere everywhere in the world. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you create a story. Rebecca's comeback, Sarah's an up and comer, wife of the monster, wife of the guy with the best hair in arm wrestling. So it's, you have this thing and then people start caring. If people said, "Oh, I heard everyone's rooting for Rebecaa," that's fucking awesome. You know what? I hope they're rooting for one of them. If they weren't invested in the match, I want Michael Todd to lose. Good. You know what that means? You'll tune in and watch.
That's
so
right.
It's my thing is we just gotta, yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that I love the sport so much, but people need to fall in love with people.
If you do not create characters or a reason for people to follow the sport,
exactly,
you're gonna turn the channel. You're gonna switch to a different. I mean, is the reality of the situation, and that's where everybody has failed in the past. And the reason I believe we have a chance to be successful now is due to social media, and the athletes have control of their own brands. Not one of us is going to do it by ourselves, but it's going to be a cumulative effect of everyone out there exposing our personalities to the world. And that's the reason that I believe we have a chance at becoming something much, much bigger than arm wrestling's ever been in the past.
Yes.
It's because you're going to like me. You're gonna support me and watch me because you love me, or you're going to hate me and just want to see me lose. It doesn't matter why, like he said, as long as you're watching. But it won't be just me. It won't be Devin. It's going to be everyone.
Yeah.
You have people
it's no difference. Yeah, you turn on a football game on Sunday, and it's just it's like we're on 12 guys against another 12 guys. You're not going to watch that. But you put one guy, Tom Brady, against Patrick Mahomes. Now it's like, oh, shit, now I want to watch the game. They're doing the same thing as the 12 random guys. You just don't know who they are. But that's the point. I love that Rebecaa and Michael are having to share things and stuff like that. And I'm not doing it because they're like, hey, you guys share stuff. Okay. No, I legitimately am invested in these matches. I'm legitimately, I'm pumped. I feel like Joe Rogan when he's like, I got the best seat in the house, man. I got the best seat in the house. I'm going to be right there, sitting next to Michael and literally talking about the shit I would be doing if I was laying here on my couch. You know what I mean? I'd be sitting with Sarah and be like, oh, look, dude, I have no idea who's going to win it. It's an exciting match, whatever it is that we're end up talking about on the day. But it's such a blessing to be right there front and center. But I'm doing it because if I wasn't involved in this at all, guess where I'd be December 10th? I'd be here watching it, and supporting it. So, it's just, again, nobody's too small. Nobody's, and not everybody, that's the other thing is, not everyone has the personality or the whatever, you hear Rebecaa talk about her, anxiety versus it's not her, what would deter her from pursuing the sport. It's not her athleticism. It's just her mindset. again, that's not right or wrong. It's just her. That's just how she is. But just because, and again, everyone needs to, I'm going to throw this back, stay in your lane in a way. But just because your lane may not be the guy being front and center, you may have a lane that can literally help catapult the sport that none of us have thought about. You know,
the biggest thing I want to add to that is years ago, I'm talking like 15 years ago, maybe longer. I had a friend of mine tell me, because he saw Travis Bajan at the 2005 Unified Nationals I held in Little Rock, and Travis was a spectacle, right? He's like, you need to be more like Travis. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to be famous being Travis Bajan, trying to be Travis Bajan. I'll be famous being Michael Todd. That's what I'm talking about to the new people who are doing this with social media, whatever. Don't try to be anyone else.
Exactly.
Just be you and be genuine. Just be genuine. Some people are going to like you and some people aren't. But just be genuine. And if that shows through, you're going to have a following. So this is an example. This is the pat Rebecaa on the back moment. We've been doing this.
You're like down 3. You're like 3 strikes in still. This may just take you to 2.
This is just going to come back to complimenting me somehow. So it's all good.
Okay.
That's kind of my how I do it.
I got it.
Day in my life, guys.
But I think we started Instagram, YouTube, like starting putting some stuff out 18, 19, nothing big.
2018 is what
in 2020. We had 15,000 YouTube subscribers. The week before, in October, the week before we went and filmed with Juji, right? Everything else was, hardly anything on Facebook, probably the same on Instagram. Now we have almost 400,000 combined, which is a blessing, but that's not the thing. Those 3 platforms since January have done over 113,500,000 views.
Which is awesome.
That's crazy to me. That's how many people click play on a video. That's exposure. That is letting people, and most of those are off Facebook, and people are like, that's not how you arm wrestle. So that's brand new people who've never seen arm wrestling before, and 90% of them hate me because they think I'm cheating. But they're watching. And you see the same ones keep commenting, so now they're invested. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what it takes. It takes getting out of your comfort zone, holding the camera up when you don't want to sometimes, and just
all the time.
Which is a lot. we might have been the UK, and Rebecaa's like, I'm like, can we just put that shit down and just enjoy the moment for a second? And she's just trying to give people something to experience our life, right? And it's awesome, but sometimes I just need to be with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But am I thankful and blessed to have this opportunity? I get to spend every single day with my best friend, and all I have to do is do stuff and film it. Yes. One of the biggest blessings of my life, right? Because we're not promised tomorrow. I want to see everything with her, right? But that's what makes it so awesome is the time that we're in right now in arm wrestling. Anyone can do it.
Y'all, I've got it. By the way,
anybody can do it.
This is, I got to say this
Go
really
ahead.
quickly. He's talking about, I enjoy on my channel showing kind of like the behind the scenes, the life that we live, this crazy life that I live with the monster, so it's not all working out. It's not all arm wrestling. It's our travel. It's everything. I'm going to be releasing a video tomorrow that you better empty your bladder before you watch it, because
it's actually quite hysterical.
It is very hysterical. And
it will go to her YouTube, but it's also going to go to my Facebook because I really think it's going to go viral. This shit is hilarious.
It may not. It may not.
It should.
But
you can never pick, but this is the one that your mind, you're like, that's probably going to go viral.
But what I need you to understand when you watch it is that's not a smile. That is a grimace. And I'm 100% speaking my truth at the end of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So just so you know.
Please with that one at all.
Be ready. Okay.
And if someone could please drop Rebecaa's YouTube channel link in the comments, that would be great, so you don't miss out on this good thing. Joe, I'll go back and read your super chat. It says, I'm excited to get down to the hot springs and meet you all. Going to be an epic event and can't wait to get on the table and show what the Canadian serial killer can do. Brent, you're first on the hit list.
We may have gotten Joe a new name.
The Canadian.
I'm telling you, Joe, it scared me
We
just
need
a little
to
bit.
put that picture up.
He sent a message and he said, I'm actually kind of a nice guy.
I'm telling you, that was the best picture I've ever had sent to us. That you literally first reaction was like, "Damn, he might kill everybody." I don't know if this is a good one or not. It was awesome.
Z's guitar account, thank you very much, mate. He says, "Sorry, Monster, but I hope you lose against Ongabayev."
Hey,
That was from Rebecca. That was from Rebecca.
Opinion. I don't know why he had so much hope in me losing, but hey, whatever happened. I mean, Ongabayev is world champ for a reason. He is. And I caught some shit about cutting to 105. Oh, you can't beat the guys at your weight, so you're going down to cut weight to win. Listen, you can pull somebody here for a match, or you can pull here for a world title. I'm willing to make the cut for a world title shot. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I would love to pull in every weight class for a world title. And this, I'm gonna put this out here right now. Because I'm cutting to 105 or 115, that does not mean that is my weight class. That means when there's a title match or a defense of a title, or the money is big enough, I'll make the cut. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm still a super. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 260 right now. I got to cut like 20 pounds by freaking Friday night, you know?
Pablo wants to know why in the hell is he cutting?
Because he's got to pull, he has to pull Paul in at 240 for the heavyweight title.
Oh.
Yeah, the cut's not for me. He told me, he's like, you don't have to cut. I'm like, yeah, but you do because you're pulling Paul. So if you didn't have to cut, neither one of us would cut. Except then we wouldn't have a title match because we got Corey and Cody going for the super heavyweight title.
Yeah, and you're not getting that one.
Well, I mean, you know what's up.
I think Rebecca and I should have a mini of that award that you're the axe, because I really want one.
You really want an axe?
So those are 31
inches. No,
they look so cool.
I was gonna say, you know, you want to? We'll give them a spatula for the fucking kitchen. Sorry,
well,
are you suggesting there, Jason,
a big ass oven mitt?
Kitchen? Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm
not suggesting that, but I'm like an oven mitt, an oven mitt, but like sparkles on it, something like that.
Just when I was starting to watch you,
I know I had to bring it back. I wanted you to be more mad at me than Michael. That's all. I was looking out for Michael. I'd rather get off the thing. Yeah, I'd rather get off the chat and be like, that guy's a fucking asshole. And, you know, woo, dodge that bullet, babe.
Just like the keychain size.
Yeah.
Like, just a little one.
If I would have
really
known.
Cool.
I mean, seriously, the guy that Forbidden Props reached out to me. He makes movie props. And he's like, dude, can I make an award?
He's a good guy.
They're
I'm
so
like,
cool.
hell yes, you can. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to make this promise. Should we continue on, because people do what they're supposed to, in 2023, there will be a ladies' titles match.
Yes.
Hey, Jason, do you now identify as a woman?
I have been. As soon as I heard that was an option, I'm like, yeah, that's the better thing to do. Yeah, I've been this whole time.
Well, that was going to be my question, not whether or not Jason's a woman, but because of the quest for 100 next year. Does that mean Monster Factory is having a year off?
That is not our intention.
It is not our intention. I will tell you this,
well,
and this might be more information than my wife wants me to share.
Okay, then shut up.
But if these events are not supported, if they are not supported by the fans, I have no problem not doing them again. But if I continue to be supported and they continue to like what we're putting out, I have no problem continuing to provide the product. But if the product is not going to be supported, I have a lot of other options of shit I can be doing.
Well, it's a lot of work. I mean, if you look at Ingen, okay, what Ingen is doing, I'm hoping that man is getting frequent visits with his physician to make sure he is staying healthy.
Yeah, he's like aged like 15 years in the past 6 months.
It's a lot of stress, a lot of moving parts. Okay. Because he has to negotiate with every single one of those athletes. And then they set their price. We do it different at Monster Factory. We set our budget and then we contact the athletes and we make them the offer. And there is no negotiation because our budget is set. Ingen contacts the
And that is
athletes
no
first.
disrespect to the athletes.
No.
That's just where we're at right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is what it starts for the main card.
Yeah.
If you win and you come back, this is your next tier. And then here's your next tier. You know, I mean, that's just.
So the thing for us is we want to be able to continue to provide a good product where, yes, we do have some great names on it, but we are also able to highlight athletes that most people, like a large percentage, don't even know are doing so well in arm wrestling. And that's what I love about our cards, right? We are able to bring attention to these folks that may not have it otherwise. Like at one of our Monster Factory 2, we had Dustin Hyatt. It was because of Monster Factory 2 that Neil was able to see what was going on to Dustin, and Neil gets Dustin up at Arm Wars. So these people need an outlet. We can only do that if we set our budget, we stick to our budget, and we get the athletes there.
So on that note, we catch a lot of heat for people saying, well, that's not an undercard match. Listen, undercard main card is not it is not a reflection of your ability. It's a reflection of my budget. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on the undercard, you have the opportunity to potentially earn more money than the guy who's wearing a Monster Factory shirt on the main card, because he's agreed to terms, right? He has a set price. He has to wear a Monster Factory shirt. If the guy on the undercard or the girl on the undercard is a bigger hustler and can go out and hustle and get more sponsors, they make more money.
I brought their own ticket.
You know, so that's just how it works. Is the reason there's a main card is because I needed to set. Originally, the main card was because it was pay-per-view. The other one's free. Then we just did the whole thing for free, so we kept an undercard main card. That's just what we did. We made it eventually. Well, no, I can't eliminate it because I can't pay everyone.
You're killing me. I'm like losing where I was supposed to
So
go.
this is the Jake thing he was talking about in the beginning about our outtakes.
Okay. Well, anyways.
I love it.
And so Ingen has to then, once he has made all the promises and set everybody's numbers, then he has to stress over getting the sponsorships.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, at first he was just expecting pay-per-views. And we're like, listen, there's a better model, So he's doing the pay-per-view and the VIPs and the sponsors, and he's taking the best of both worlds, and it's working for him. And I'm very proud of him. But it is extremely stressful to put together something like that.
So, but anyway,
I can only imagine.
Even though it's not that level, it's still a lot of stress. It's still a lot of time, and I just want to be able to do it and to do it well, and to have the fans support it. Not for us. I want the fans to support it for the athletes that are on the card. And when you click for that, when you click that link for that to start on Saturday at noon Central Time, leave it going the entire time, so that even if it's you got to get and go to the bathroom and you're going to miss a match, leave it going the entire time, so that when we go back and look at those analytics and we go to the sponsors and we're like, look, this is where it was during this match. We want to have these people back because they had good analytics. The sponsors are going to want to be a part of that match. That's way more than anybody needs to know, but it's important, and it's not things that people think about. Your viewership does matter. Your watch time does matter.
Oh, it's a great insight. I'm glad you brought it up. It's good for people to know because whenever you're on YouTube, you hear the saying, like, share, and subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. But at least you are now letting people know why it is so important for the lengthy watch time, why it's so important to have a good retention rate and things like that. So, I think it's great information to give everyone watching, in case they might be like, oh, I'm just going to quickly make some lunch, while the Monster Factory is on, and they turn off their phone. Where instead now, from hearing this, they'll probably leave their phone on now.
Just leave it going. Just leave it going, somewhere, so that, like I said, it's just something more that we can take back to the sponsors to promote the matches that we want to have and that people want to see.
Absolutely. And so I don't want to put any pressure on you, Rebecaa, but 181 people have voted on my poll. Who wins? Rebecaa Todd, Sarah Latona. And 56% of these 182 people.
It just went to 55.
Have voted for Rebecaa to win this match.
I think it's name recognition. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's not, and I greatly support I greatly appreciate your support and your vote. And what I can tell you, I cannot guarantee you a win. What I can guarantee you is that I am strong. I'm stronger than I have been in a number of years. Is that going to translate to the table? I won't find out until there's a ready go. But with each ready go, as long as I remain healthy, I'm going to try. And I'm going to keep trying something different until I can find something that works or the match is called. So it's just important to me that you guys watch and support Sarah as well. She's putting on a lot of great stuff out there on Facebook. They've got a YouTube. She's got an Instagram. She has been training her ass off. And I'm not going to tell you that it hasn't scared the hell out of me several times. It has. She's doing these freaky things with pull-ups on the Country Crush bar or the Country Crush handle. Many men cannot do this. And this chick is doing them for multiples. And the strict curls that she's doing. I want to find Brandon Allen and slap him.
Smack.
And his Fu Manchu for giving her all of this training tips. Thanks, Brandon. Way to pick your side. Okay. But no, I greatly appreciate the support, guys.
They're just so used to voting against me, they felt like the monsters needed some love, so they started voting for you. That's what it is.
People.
Sarah, how frustrated are you that 55% of the people did not vote for you? How angry are you? How much do you want to rip into the comments section and just elbow drop them?
I am actually not. I'm okay. I'm okay with being the underdog. I'm okay with being above. Being an underdog,
I was the underdog up until about 3 minutes ago on this dang thing.
No, I think
no, that doesn't bother me.
We honestly, when the match was announced all the way up till now, like we really thought like just again, like you're she's being facetious, but she's 100% correct when she like name recognition. It's the same reason why people would vote Devin over Levon. Like he's more popular. I was just like anyone who knows arm wrestling, I'm like if you think Devin has a fucking chance, you're crazy. And I did not think Devin had a chance, and he didn't have a chance. But that's what it was, as name recognition. But like. I'm actually surprised it's not higher, especially because again, just more views.
Higher for Rebecaa.
Yeah, because like again, some of the stuff like she looks again. Rebecaa, you look awesome. Michael,
amazing.
You
Both of you guys,
look,
your transformation.
Yeah.
It's
Jake, you look really handsome.
Jake,
you don't have to transform.
Wow.
You don't have to
transform.
Where do you go?
No love from anyone?
No, but Jake, you were already here. You had nowhere to go up. They were moved down here. They had a lot of feelings.
No, but seriously.
So and Michael, I'm down here. You can't even see where I'm at. No,
but honestly, you guys.
Yeah, but like I said, when you see Rebecaa, you know who she lives with, the friggin' heavyweight champ. I would be really surprised, like I said, that it's not higher. Like I said, you didn't. I'm gonna give you my prediction because you didn't ask me my prediction. I'll be honest. The only thing I'm worried about, because Michael shared insight, so I'm gonna share my insight on Sarah.
I'm just going to mute your mic there, Jason. Sorry, mate. We've just run out of time for your prediction, so I've had to mute.
It's actually good. I probably should go to bed. Yeah, I should probably go to bed. Yeah. No, but Michael talked about Rebecca's lanes and everything like that. My only worry for Sarah is she doesn't arm wrestle females as good as she does males. And I've seen her grip up with a female and is super tentative and super that's my only concern. My only concern is that she does because we do think Rebecaa. I've watched a lot of Rebecaa's stuff. I do think she has a lane, I don't want her to get there. I don't want Sarah to. I don't want Rebecaa. I'm saying to get there. I don't want Sarah to be put in that position because. Again, like Michael and Rebecaa were saying earlier, a lot of people don't understand how to train with female arm wrestlers. It is hard. A lot of times the guys just let them either do nothing or let them just tee off. They don't get resistance like in the full spectrum where a male would as another equal size strength,
we don't
person.
get to train here a lot.
Yeah.
We get to train here a lot.
And it gives them false sense of, you have a lot of offense with very little defense. So, but yeah, I think I'm not actually getting my prediction, but that would be my only concern for Sarah is when she gets on the table. It's weird. She feels a small hand, and it's like I think she feels so dominant that she doesn't. And it sounds weird, but she doesn't like try with all of her ability. And and Rebecca's so fucking nice.
Stick with that.
Like so.
Stick with that.
Sorry.
Stick with that.
No, and Rebecca's so nice that I know there's no
There's no animosity.
There's no animosity. Yeah. There's no. Sarah is just as supportive of. I've seen their freaking texts between each other and stuff, and Sarah, Rebecaa is. I mean, we're all people of faith. So we have that bond, and then they Sarah and Rebecaa are nothing but supportive of each other, and that honestly kind of scares me a little bit because I want Sarah to get into a thing, and Rebecaa literally made Jedi mind trick her to be like, you're so nice, so and that's the only thing I'm afraid of. So like I said, maybe I don't know, but
that's what we have been working on with me though, is my defense.
Yeah, well, we're just being mean now.
And being mean.
But yeah, like I said, it's been.
So when I go to the table, do you want me just to slap her?
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would actually get me going.
It would
fire it off.
I was gonna say my hands already sore from.
Watch me slap Sarah Latona.
See, that's what we need to happen. That's what we need. That's what we need to get. If you want the views to get up, that's what you need to do.
We'll just do slap fighting before, and then we'll do our
just
match.
more shit.
Oh shit! Boy, it's gonna be a hyped up match then. Boy, what are you talking about?
Loser smacks the other person after each round.
Oh, yeah, finally. It took us 2 hours to get there. Now the shit talk has begun. I'm very happy that now we're all invested in this match. Loser gets the taste slapped out of their mouth. It's going to be amazing.
But it's going to be a slap with a big oven mitt. So.
Oven mitt.
Oh, back to the oven mitt.
Back to the oven. I just think it's a really good idea. I don't know.
I just want a small one.
Yeah, just a small oven mitt.
Small oven.
Yeah.
Just quickly before we wrap up, Sarah and Jason, can you just please, and I'll drop it in the comments after this, can you drop all the socials and the awesome things you are doing at Good Pullers?
Yeah, we're making our. I didn't give my prediction. I don't want to give it. I'm gonna be like you. I don't want it. It's Jake made it too big of a deal of it.
This is one of our most sold, popular. I guess.
Yeah, this
most
one
popular. This one and our only forearms.
Yeah, but we're at Good Pullers. You can find us either on Squarespace.
Oh, Rebecca's got our shirt too.
Thank you. And that's one of our
our only forearms
shirts. And thank you.
Can't get it right.
Thank you for supporting it. We thought you were literally going to put it on right now. That's what we thought. I think we're trying to get the views up. We're like anything to get the views up. I'll show my feet if I have to.
Yeah, we got our slippers.
Yeah, no, but Good Pullers. My Sarah's Instagram is Mrs Latona Armsport.
Miss Latona _Armsport.
And I'm just my name, Jason Latona. And again, we're super pumped to be here and be a part of this stuff because at the end of the day, Sarah and I talk about this when we moved back from Singapore in 2019. Shortly after that, I met Rebecaa and Michael, and in person, they actually came to Vegas. Funny enough, Michael put in this Las Vegas arm wrestling group that he was coming out and he was gonna have some T-shirts. And if anyone want to meet up and buy a T-shirt, you would do that. And apparently Michael told me, he was like, you're the only person that messaged him. And the reason why is because the Las Vegas Arm Wrestling Group and the page at the time was run by Igor Mazarenko. And or one of them,
all Europeans.
Right? And so nobody saw those matches. Yeah, that group you put in was run by the Mazarenkos. Way back when, like, do you know what's his name? Reza. You know, when Reza and all those guys were back here, that page has been around then. So, but we came to America, moved to the States, and there was no social media in Las Vegas arm wrestling or any of this kind of stuff. And long story short, like we met Michael and Rebecca. We went up to Red Rock with them, and
it was
the coldest day ever. It was literally the coldest day ever, and but we got
out of the car for like 2 minutes. Yeah, we were like, "Yeah, that's enough looking at the mountains."
Because, well, you know the way Michael looks, he's like all bearded and manly and shit, and and I'm like, I didn't want to be a puss to be like, "Oh, dude, I'm fucking freezing," and I remember turning to him, I'm like, "It's really cold." And Michael's like, "Yeah, I'm freezing. Let's get the hell out of here." Like, we're going. And I was like, "Oh, thank God." I thought he was gonna be like, "Man, this don't bother me, in this cold," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I'm like, I grew up here, but I'm like still kind of more boy bandy than anything. So, but yeah,
there's actually a funny thing you don't know about that day, probably.
Which is?
Okay, she's gonna tell you.
So when you messaged Michael,
I think I do know this. I do know this.
Yes, we do know.
Michael is the worst about. Okay, someone was saying that they didn't want Michael to get too popular because he doesn't answer messages. He answers all messages. He even looks in his request or spam folder and he goes through all of his messages. I can't tell you how much time he spends, but he will arrange for us to meet people that we don't even have a pic of them. Like no pictures, no background information. We don't know who they are. And he's going to put my safety in their hands. Okay.
And in defense, I sent him a photo of Sarah and I both in a GIMP mask. Okay. So he was like, "Oh, these people look great." But I had a forearm out.
So Michael's like, "We're gonna meet these folks. They're arm wrestlers in Las Vegas." And I'm like, "Well, who are they, Michael?" And he said, "Well, this is someone that messaged me. Well, what do you know about them, honey? I don't know anything about them." Okay, so what's going on? Well, I think they're going to take us hiking. Where are they taking us hiking, Michael? Out somewhere. So we drive for, I swear, an hour or more into where there's nobody, like there's nothing living, and they're taking us there. I was like, "You've done it. You've killed me. This is it. This is how I die now." This is the serial killers have taken.
If I would have pulled up and I had like a Lariat Forever or something like that, and I would have been like F King's move or no King's moves, the license plate. I'd be like, "Oh shit, they are gonna kill him."
I'm like, you do realize not everybody loves you, and some people that message you might mean to do you harm.
I just wanted a fucking shirt, to be honest. Like, at the end of the day, I just wanted a shirt. I wasn't really thinking about killing either, y'all. I just thought I like that shirt. But
I'm sorry we hijacked your show again. I knew this was going to happen.
But what I was going to say is like, but ever since, it's just so weird that we moved, like I said, back to the States, and we've had so many little blessings through this sport, through this obscure sport, meeting so many nice people. I mean, I think you're, Rebecca and Michael are nice people. You're a nice person. Even Lachlan, Bowen, like we were over, Tim Talmadge was and his wife were over in Worlds, and they were saying, "Dude, there were people wearing your shirts, and they know us, and it's like it's really cool because we're not, it's just like, who the hell am I? You know what I mean?" And but to be, have Sarah and on this card, and I was so pumped for it. And then to now know that I'm going to be doing the commentating and stuff, and then have a match too. It's all blessings. It's all good. There is no losing. If Rebecca wins, it's still not. It's not a loss. It's not a loss in any such.
To me, it makes me go, all right. Well, there's stuff I need to train on.
Yeah,
I'm not that type of person that when I lose something, like when I lose a match at tournaments, I go, they were better than me. So now I know where I need to work.
Yeah.
And I grew up with that because I've been in entertainment. I was constantly getting notes. I was constantly getting things like that. And it only makes you grow. If you never get notes, if you're always winning, it kind of gets boring.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite verses in the Bible in Proverbs, it says, "Wisdom loves correction." And you don't have to be a Christian or believe in the Bible or anything like that. But if you understand just the essence of that statement, wisdom loves correction. Mm-hmm. Most people in this day and age don't want to be told they're wrong. And it's a really sad thing because it's like, I assume I'm always wrong. And you know what I mean? As of course, I never ask for directions or anything like that. I'm a guy. But, but I'm always making the assumption that it's not even that I'm right or wrong. That maybe my view of this subject is, I view it this way, but that doesn't mean the other person's wrong because they don't view it that way, you know. And so, like I said, but this sport's been such a blessing, man. You know, it's been really cool, and you know, to be here and all that stuff. It's awesome. We just love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the only one that is actually losing is Bob Brown, so that's okay. The rest can all have their fun. But Bob Brown, the only one that's actually, when he loses, and he loses.
I'm actually voting for Kyle too. I train with Bob all the time, and I'm voting for Kyle. He's the only person. You said you thought I was going to be biased in her match. No, wait, Kyle. The match I'm going to be the most biased about is the Bob Brown match. He's training Luke to beat me. Like this is a bunch of shit with me and Bob. Yeah.
And also, Jason is also the co-host of your Morning BJ on Brandon Allen's channel. So they have guests every week. Who's on the show this week, Jason?
I have no, because this is a true story about that. We probably get our guests like the evening before, and it's usually Sarah and I scramble in because Brandon's like, "Oh, dude, I'm writing programs and walking my dogs or whatever else he's doing, and or eating, you know, or losing weight." Training. We usually get a guest like very rarely do we have a guest like a week out. If I'm not mistaken, we're trying to get Mega Mike on. I know Mega Mike came in and gave a super chat. I think Brandon wanted to have him on to talk about their match, like I said, coming up at the Olympia. So
we just recently had one with Michael too, so go and check that
out
too.
We had one with Michael Todd right after East versus West 6 because that was one of the ones where as soon as I was like, okay, look, we're close to Monster Factory. We're like 2-3 weeks out at the time, and then I was like, man, you know, this is the guy that was supposed to be originally on that match against Prudnick. And I think in that match, what's weird is I would have favored Michael much easier in that match than I would have been I was picking Evgeny over Devin, but I would have picked Michael over Prudnick. And watching that match, I think it would kind of same with Ungabayev. I think if you don't know, I think if you're not, I've said this before, Michael, I'm not patronizing. You can go back on my show and see that I said this about you. I think if you're not, you can't out leverage the shit out of him. Good luck beating Michael Todd. And like even with Dave Chafee and Dave Chafee and Michael, I was like, I'd love Chafee for round 1, maybe. And but you know, Michael gets to stop. It's just like if you have endurance problems, guess who you don't want to arm wrestle? Michael Todd or Devin Larratt. You do not want to arm wrestle those guys if you have endurance issues. And, you know, I think Ungabayev's a fucking stud. Excuse my language. I think he's awesome. I love that dude. But man, I can't see him getting once Michael, I can't see you getting through that. It's just too, So I don't know. I don't know how I got on that subject.
I appreciate the support. But it
Bring
is
it back.
2 hours and 16 minutes, and I got to eat. I got Giordano's.
I was
going to say.
We're wrapping up the show. Guys, please just give all 4 of my guests a big ready bang. It's been awesome. I was only predicting this show to be an hour because I know how important the 4 of your guys' times are. But then I also knew the 4 of you love a chat like me. So it does not surprise me that we have gone on this long. Monster Factory this weekend. Don't be an idiot. Go and watch it. Head over to the Monster Michael Todd's YouTube channel. It is happening 12 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be an awesome event. Heaps of matches, and of course, hence why I got Sarah and Rebecaa on the show because I'm super excited about that matchup. I got my man, the Chicken Man, on the card. Joe Cagle, I absolutely love him. Chance Shaw and get the BJ Fakakis out of here are going head to head. We've got heavyweight matches. We've got title matches. It's one of the mega events of the year is the Monster Factory. It's in the big 4. I say Arm Wars, East versus West, King of the Table, and Monster Factory. And you're getting it like 2 weeks after East versus West. You got to be mad. Christmas has come early. Monster Factory, guys. Thank you all very much for jumping on the show, and we will see you all very soon.
Thank you for having us.
You guys.